Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Social with me, Graham Hughes, and I am surrounded by mics tonight. We've got Mike Dix, and we've also got, over in the States, we've got Mikey Famine. How you doing, Mikey? How you doing, Mike?
Hello.
You both all right?
Good.
Martin Harrow was put in the chat, why? Well, hello, Mr. Dix, which is how I said hello to you before we came on. It must be something in the air. We're all acting like Bond villains tonight.
Were we broadcasting? That's terrible, because the things we were saying about Martin Harrow should not be.
Poor Martin.
Should not be broadcast.
We didn't mean it, Martin. We were just joking. If you'd like to join Martin and Scott and Chris C and Reverend Kathy and Jane Lockwood and some guy called Mike Dix, whoever that is, in the chat, all you need to do is hit the big juicy subscribe button and join in the fun. But no trolls, please, because we will mute you and boot you. So, top story this evening. Laurence Fox has launched a crowdfunder for his latest legal entanglements, where I think did he tell people to go and destroy ULEZ cameras, and now he's going to jail, and he wants to raise £10,000 for his legal fees, and he's raised £5.
That's got to be his mum, hasn't it, as well?
I have it on
lip, as they say.
I have it on good authority that his mum hates him as well. I think it was him. Yeah. I think he just put £5 to get it started. You know, like when you're busking or something, you put a bit of money in to get started. Oh, thanks, God.
Well, he's not going to get that $5 back just because of the processing fee. So that's only $3.50 towards his case.
Mikey, you're quite quiet. Do you want to knock your sound up a little bit?
Oh,
a little bit. Go on, Mike. What are you going to say?
The trouble with stories like this is that
Fox.
if somebody like Tan shares it and says, you know, what a joke, basically,
people
you just know some of the people that like him will put money in just to, like, it's really difficult to cover things like this because you think maybe we just shouldn't talk about it. But he definitely deserves it. I mean, maybe it's the end of that grift.
Maybe. Well, another thing that's happened is there's a statue of Melania Trump in her home country of Slovenia, and it's disappeared overnight, and all that's left are the feet and the ankles. It's the funniest fucking thing. I'm sorry, I'm just taking the wins where I can at the moment.
Am I remembering this story right? Wasn't there a really lousy wooden statue of her first, and then it was replaced by a bronze statue by a Trump supporter, and now it's been nicked, basically.
What's the point of statues?
You need something to put the traffic cone on.
But you need to,
like, what's the point?
You need something that you can tear down in 100 years when you find out they were racists. That's normally the way it works.
But we already know that anyone who has a statue ends up being a bad guy. So just stop with statues. There's not going to be a person that's going to be worthy of a statue in our lifetime. So just don't even bother.
For a while, Mikey, over here, we had statue wars because some left-wingers in Bristol pulled down a statue of a slave trader.
And put it in the drink. It was awesome.
Yeah, chucked it in the river, yeah. And now whenever there is a parade in London, there is an army of gammons standing around the statue of Winston Churchill protecting it.
Yeah.
And they quite often get beaten up by the police for being within the cordon that's already protecting the statue anyways. Kind of ridiculous.
It was beautiful. So what I was saying statues are a form of art. And I would agree with that to a certain extent. That there is a beautiful statue in the middle of Durham, and it looks really nice. It's a guy on a horse, got a big hat on. It's very well done. But the actual guy that it's memorializing was an absolute fucking arsehole.
So, typically how it turns out.
What do you do? I mean, it's as a work of art. It's quite magnificent that someone managed to do that. It's, out of my, wheelhouse. Could you do that, Mike? Could you put together a beautiful statue?
I've got a 3D printer. I could have a go.
3D printer. Can you 3D print me a picture of me on Battlecat holding the World Cup?
12 foot tall.
While Old Trafford burns around me.
Billy says, Mikey, tell him the horse statue has no tongue.
What?
That's what Billy told me to tell you. The horse statue has no tongue.
What, in Durham?
The one in Durham.
Oh.
Where you just said something about a horse statue.
Yeah, there's
that
a horse statue.
Yeah.
Lord Londonderry or something.
It's tongueless. It's a tongueless horse.
It's a tongueless horse. I'm gonna have to
That
check
was the name of my ska band back in high school.
Maybe-
Tongueless Horse.
Maybe it was given all
Tongueless
that,
horse.
and they just didn't want anything to do with it. Anyway, Mikey, what's going down over in America? I hear that some House Republicans have told Trump to fuck off. What's all this about? Tell me more.
The splintering has begun. I told you can't sell this shit. Like this nasty, horrible, xenophobic, illegal, unconstitutional shit that Trump is trying to push through. Yeah, he can say it on TV. He can get away with some of it in the short term, but the courts and the people are not pleased with what he's up to. And those people have Congress people who want to get reelected. So the original question still remains. Are you more afraid of Elon's money, or are you afraid of all of these people that are furious with you? And it's looking like the furious people are starting to win out after a while. Took them a second, but yeah.
What are the Republicans splitting on, though? Is it the aeroplane?
No, it's his big beautiful bill, his budget doesn't make enough cuts. They're complaining it's not Trumpy enough. It's not cruel enough. It's not mean enough.
Well, even Howley from Missouri, who's a right bastard, is like, you cannot cut Medicaid. Too many of my constituents need it. Like, you need to find it somewhere else. You can't take it from there. You know what I mean? Like, the rubber has to eventually hit the road here. You're asking people to literally sign off on something saying, I'm going to directly hurt my constituents. And the constituents know about it because we've been running our mouth about what they've been trying to pull off. So instead of the people being just completely clueless to the whole thing, they're like, hey, they are trying to cut our shit. And then it was like, yeah, Elon's doing it. It's like, yeah, get rid of Elon. So Elon's been gone because that assuaged the crowd. So Elon's disappeared. And now they're trying to sneak through this bill, this big, beautiful bill. And all of this garbage is in it. And it's an easy thing for the media to cover.
But the people who are stopping it are the ones who think it doesn't go far enough. They want more cuts to Medicaid and Medicare. They want to fuck their own people over even more. They're the ones who are siding with the minority Democrats to stop this going forward at the moment. They're like, it's not horrible enough. I mean, what is wrong with these people? They're just like the absolute worst. Oh, my Lord. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
I genuinely do not understand how there are not riots in the street at the moment, because it is just so blatantly, we want tax cuts for Elon Musk, who's starving children across the world at the moment with his cuts, and in America, the richest man in the world. And the budget is just there to give tax cuts to the billionaires. It's effectively all it says, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people are not. I mean, there are people up in arms about it. There are, you know, even Ben from Ben and
Jerry's. I was about to say I kind of disagree. I kind of disagree with the premise. Like, you guys keep saying that no one's doing anything. It's no one has an effective means of pulling off what you're wanting them to do. Like, if you want people to storm into buildings and start burning things, that is counterproductive to what's going to happen, because any sort of force against Trump's things, you know what I'm saying, will be seen as, and now I can trigger the Insurrection Act, and now, you know what I mean? So it is delicate. You can't just punch a hole through everything in January 6 things, because he's waiting for somebody to try to January 6 him, so he can just pull in all the military to every single city and shut the whole. That's exactly what he wants. So people can't do what you guys keep wanting them to do, because then worse things will happen.
Can we wake Scott up? Scott, wake up! Hey, got him. Woo-hoo. How you doing, mate?
No, you're right, Mike. I do understand that. And I was watching Bernie Sanders on the Stephen Colbert show last night, and like he absolutely was on the nail as usual with what needs to be done. But it just feels like it's going to be a long slog. It feels like what we had to do with austerity and Cameron's Tories, effectively, is like slog away at them until they lose an election. That's the way it's going to be.
That's the stream safe way of talking about it. You know what I mean? But all of these like uprisings that people.
I'm not going to encourage you to get the guns out.
I'm not participating in anything. White people did this. White people can fix it. I'm done. I'm done with black and brown and LGBTQ and everybody else marching to the front of the line and having to like eat all the pepper spray and the rubber bullets and all that. No.
That's not fair.
But
I've seen the banners that people hold up at these rallies saying "Blacks for Trump." Wait, I'm sorry.
All three of those paid people. Yeah, sure. but yeah, I'm not marching up front to be chewed up by the machine guns. No, they can go first.
That's fair enough, Mikey. And I feel like the white people would go out and protest against this fascistic government if that same government had allowed them to have, I don't know, some kind of weapons in order to fight against a fascistic government. So if anyone tried to take away their guns, they could say, you can't take away my guns because the government might turn evil one day and I'll have to fight back. Well, now that day's here, and the sad thing is no one in America's got any guns. So, sorry, it's just the way it is.
Can I just go back to the fact that Ben from Ben & Jerry's was arrested yesterday for protesting at a Senate hearing?
Yes.
And I just need to add this because I've been thinking about it this afternoon and couldn't be bothered to draw it. But a new Ben & Jerry's flavour should be freeze peach.
Ah, very good. I like
Tumbleweed moment.
I like it because it's like frozen.
Freeze peach. It's like frozen.
I like peach. So
but it also sounds a bit like free speech.
Oh, free speech.
It's like a play on words that really failed dismally.
I see.
No, it didn't fail at all.
I got it.
I got it too.
It's been a long week. I'm sorry, Mike. So,
I'll get my coat.
And the chat thing. I found my old tablet when I was digging out the BT equipment. It gave up the ghost about 6 years ago. And needless to say that it went in the bag too. Thanks.
I think Anne is having a conversation about her Wi-Fi connection.
Okay.
A broadband connection.
So I have a super chat from Dark 4x4, 2 English pounds.
Ooh.
Quiz question. Judas Priest is not death metal. A.
No, it's not.
Where is it from? B. What is it a reference to? C. What's the title? D. Who's the original author? So this is a reference and a quiz all at the same time.
What? There's a book or something called Judas Priest is not death metal.
Is it a line from a movie? But they also add no more super chats for Graham if he doesn't know. So I think you're supposed to know this.
It's so vague and weird. Like
I'll read it from the Big Lebowski. It sounds like something from a Coen Brothers movie.
I'll read it again. Judas Priest is not death metal.
Right.
A. Where's it from? B. What's it a reference to? C. What's the title? D. Who was the original author?
Right. I'm gonna say it's got to be Wayne's World or Shaun of the Dead or the one I said first.
Wayne's World.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm taking away.
If Billy guesses H.P. Lovecraft, that's very close, Billy.
Judas Priest is not. High Fidelity with John Cusack and Jack Black, based on the book by Nick Hornby. Is it High Fidelity? No.
Dark 4x4 will let us know.
Mike's just shaking his head. He's just like, no, not having that.
I mean, I was out of this quiz in my general knowledge terms when we got to Judas Priest. So
they're a band. They're a band.
I was literally about to say where they're from.
I have nothing to contribute to the answer here.
I don't know.
I would have guessed
The Simpsons. It's The Simpsons. It's the chalkboard.
A more obscure
chalkboard gag from The Simpsons.
Oh,
yeah, right. So the author's.
I did look that up. I'm going to admit I didn't know. I was.
The author is Matt Groening.
Groening.
Grain.
I mean, he's right.
It's Groening.
That is correct.
Reverend
it is a
Cathy
factual statement.
It is not death metal.
Judas Priest are not a death metal band.
Are Metallica death metal?
No, they are not.
Is the Eagles of death metal death metal?
No, they're the furthest thing from death metal. Which is the irony of it all. But yeah.
Excellent.
Having seen them in concert, I can
some
tell you now.
Some in the chat got it. Although Simon M suggested Airheads movie.
I was going to suggest Deathgasm, but that is a far more obscure.
That's a different video.
What? Chris C wants to know what he's missing about Ben and Jerry's. So it was freeze peach, because it could be peach flavored, but it also works a bit like free speech. So it sounds similar.
And the thing is, Chris, this is the important thing. Ice cream is often frozen. So, like the word freeze, which sounds like free.
Oh, the ice. I get it.
Do you see? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And anyway, that's why the dog crossed the road, and I'll go and get my coat.
It's the simplest.
See myself out.
I don't get it. I don't get how people don't get it.
See myself out.
So, Mikey, are you getting any stories from over this side of the pond of any of the madness that's been going on here, or is it all drowned out by Trump? It's like everything else drowned out, like a really loud, obnoxious noise. Does it just drown out the sound of bird song, children playing, anything? Not horrible.
Graham, you're not even in our bubble. Like, you guys could be on fire and we wouldn't know about it. Like, I know that you guys
your
exist.
Best trading partner. We had
a special relationship. I thought we were special.
No, I know about you guys. So you're important. You guys are important to me.
But thank you. Oh, good.
Outside of like the podcasters, no one has ever paid attention to the UK.
Our prime minister was on a terrible conference call.
They do not even know his name. I could go to the downtown right now and hold up a sign saying, "I will give you $20 if you can tell me who the UK prime minister is without using your phone." And I would stand on that $20 in my pocket all fucking day because none of them know. Actually, maybe someone who's an immigrant might know. They have no idea.
I reckon 50% of the people you ask, Mikey, wouldn't be able to name the president either. But.
Yeah,
I was about to say, who's the president of the UK, and then I would get people's answers. You know what I'm saying? And they'd probably make up some ridiculous shit.
You said the
like
prime minister, they'd probably be confused. They don't know what that means.
If I said president, they might give me an answer, but prime minister, like,
to be
I don't
fair,
even know what that is.
To be fair, if we went around the streets of Britain and asked them who the president of France was, half of them wouldn't know.
No.
They'd probably say Napoleon.
Kind of work.
You ask Gen Z who the prime minister is, they don't know.
The prime minister of this country.
Yeah.
Oh no, Scott, you're younger than me. You can't be saying things like that.
I'm not trying to be funny.
You can't be saying, "Oh, kids these days, they don't even know who the fucking prime minister is." You have to wipe them own asses. You have to do it for them. Oh, kids these days, no manners, no respect.
You can say whatever. You can say what you want.
I got you.
Also, have you noticed, Scott? I don't know if you've noticed, but policemen are looking a lot younger these days.
They're getting younger every day.
I mean, what I'm trying to say.
And also, I was trying to watch Eurovision last night, and it's got a little bit gay. I think it shocked me. I was quite surprised.
Is that a Brighton?
Really? Were you shocked by that? It's the gayest program in the world.
Dark 4x4 says it was written on the chalkboard by Bart Simpson, referencing Judas Priest's performance in a previous episode where they performed a version of Breaking the Law.
Yes. There's a great cover by a band called the Pansy Division called Breaking the Sodomy Law.
So long title.
Yes. Have you never heard of the Pansy Division?
The what?
The Pansy Division are a gay punk rock band.
Oh.
Is it like Joy Division and the Pansies?
No, they don't.
This is very much like Freeze Peach, isn't it? This is a play on words.
It's not a play on words. Literally,
Pansy.
They did a cover of
the Panzer Tanks.
The Law, but they called it Breaking the Sodomy Law, and they even got Rob Halford to sing it with them live a few times because Rob Halford is gay.
What?
Please don't tell me you're shocked by that.
I'm sure. I'm still shocked about Cliff Richard.
I don't even know who that is. And I'm shocked.
You don't know who Cliff Richard is?
No.
No, they don't. Americans do not know who Cliff Richard is.
He was the Elvis of the UK.
I hate Elvis.
I'll tell you now, Americans do not know who Cliff Richard is. They don't have a fucking clue.
Not the foggiest.
They don't know who Elvis is.
You've never seen...
They know who Elvis is.
On the classic British pop movie Summer Holiday.
Yeah, Elvis, that guy who sings black people songs?
Yeah.
No.
Next thing you'll tell us, you don't even know who Melvin Hayes is. And you've never watched a Carry On movie.
They've never watched a Carry On film. These are things that I did not know about until I moved here.
Carry On My Wayward Son?
Okay, what was the most shocking thing about the way we do things in the UK as opposed to the US that you discovered when you got here, Scott?
Nudity on television.
What? Nudity.
You discovered
That's
Eurotrash.
illegal.
Blew my mind. Well,
That is
after 11
illegal
o'clock,
here.
There was literal full frontal male nudity. I couldn't believe it.
Awesome.
Couldn't believe it. I woke my mother up. It said, "There's a naked man on the TV. Why is there a naked man on the TV?"
I appear to have landed in heaven.
Well, no, I mean,
What is this magical place you've brought me to?
I can see all the peen I want. No, I mean,
Free peen on the telly.
I mean, obviously the what the hell is?
But then all the porn that's ever been made is American.
Contraption in the background.
Hello, Ollie. How you doing, mate?
Good.
Ollie, put that away.
It's what he puts
You're
Dobby
on
the
the
house elf before they play their games.
That's what we're playing with later, Ollie. That's not now.
Totally the wrong show, Ollie.
I'm going to play disc golf tomorrow.
Where's your ball gag?
Literally.
Bring out the gimp. Sorry, Ollie. I was trying to talk and also open Windows and try and get like the link over to you, but it looks like Mikey got it over to you.
Yeah.
Mike, Mikey, you're like a fucking ninja. You're like a link ninja. So thanks very much for that. Sorry, we were asking Scott the most shocking thing about the UK, and he says the male nudity on the TV.
It was nudity in general. When I saw tits, that was shocking. You know,
because
Europeans are
When
weird.
did you come here, Scott?
1993.
So you would had Euro trash and everything, chamomile lawn.
Oh yeah, that Lola bird with the big things. Yeah,
Lola
that
Ferrari.
was crazy.
God, them were the days.
I'd never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, because in America, like network TV, you can't even swear, can you? You can't say shit.
You cannot. You get in so much trouble if you swear on network.
If you say shit on network television,
yeah, you can't say it.
This is Brett in the chat brings up a good point. You seen is it a congressman that's trying to introduce a bill to ban pornography, which is straight out of Project 2025.
Yeah, but the problem
completely
here,
ban it.
There's a problem with that. What's pornography? So, to a fundamentalist Christian, what is their version of pornography?
Everything.
Pornography.
Sesame Street.
Two gay guys kissing. That's pornographic. It could be anybody kissing on screen at all ever. That's pornographic. Yeah.
What, in Saudi Arabia or in America?
It is a sinister way to bring up
thing.
a puritanical law into place.
And it's in Project 2025, but the way the law is written, because they use ChatGPT to write everything these nowadays, essentially there's an argument legally that it would also cover you sending a dick pic to a friend, like consensually, or sending nude pictures of yourself to your girlfriend or whatever, basically. So essentially, if it passed, which it won't.
Just like the war on drugs, I think making these things more illegal will really help. That'll really help your problem, because Americans are comically sober. We never drink to excess. We never do drugs. We never do it. So just more laws on it. That'll really tamp down the porn, which is $1 billion industry.
America is the biggest consumer of porn in the world.
And the biggest creator of porn as well.
We make a lot of porn too. Thank you very much.
But one of my favorite gags from Family Guy was a cutaway gag where the policeman, breaks down the door of a hotel. And there's a woman and a man, and the woman's just said, oh, I'll take some money off you and I will have sex with you. And he goes, here's some money so we can have sex. And the police officer breaks down the door, comes in, and he's got his gun, and he goes, I'm arresting both of you for prostitution. And then she says, oh no, officer, I'm an actress, and this is a porno. And the camera pulls back, and there's a camera in the corner of the room. And he goes, oh, you're an actress. Okay, no crime here. And he tiptoes out. Like, that's it. That's just the maddest fucking thing.
You can't become a prostitute, but you could get paid to have sex on film.
Yes. So you just film it, and then you're not breaking any laws.
You're not breaking a law.
Yeah, it's like when you're drinking and you put it in a paper bag in America, you're not really drinking. Because it could be anything. You could have Coca-Cola in there, no problem. No harm, no foul. I used to have
Is that where the paper bag trope comes from?
The paper bag trope is because they cannot have an open container on the streets in America.
In public,
Right. So if you draw a drunk in a cartoon, you normally put a brown paper bag over the bottle.
In America,
I didn't realize that's where it come from.
You cannot carry an open container of beer.
And it is
that blew my mind too when I moved.
And
here.
it's old like blue laws like that, like prohibition laws that are still on the books for the.
Ollie's playing frisbee down there. Sorry, I got distracted
with the S&M kit.
Sorry, Mikey. Go
on. That stores need to put, if you don't have it going into like a whole sack of groceries or something like that, if it's just a bottle, then it needs to be in a bag so they're not just walking out carrying bottles of liquor.
Yeah.
Well, Ollie's actually demonstrating, and I weirdly do know this because I have a friend that plays this. It's frisbee golf.
Yes, it is frisbee golf. We were just joking. It wasn't really a sex thing involving a house elf.
They don't like it when you call them frisbees. They're discs. Disc golf.
Yeah.
Disc golf.
And frisbee, the name frisbee incidentally comes from the pie tins that they used to use in the 1950s to throw, which were frisbee pies.
Oh, wow.
Dark 4x4 asks, why is Ollie playing disc golf?
Because he's on the wrong channel.
Nobody knows.
Nature and theologians alike argue that question every day, but he just does.
Ollie do what Ollie does?
Ollie just is. No one knows why Ollie is. He just is.
It's disc golf, not frisbee.
I still have the headset on.
No, you can hear us.
I've managed to get one angry pagan.
This is why we're
to
saying
become
this
a
shit.
trumper.
Is Ollie Santa Claus?
Maybe. Who wants to know?
He lives in a cold
Who's
place.
asking?
He's got a white beard. Anyway, Mike, sorry. I interrupted.
No, I seem to have turned one angry pagan into a gammon.
It's getting fucking disc golf, you bastards!
They're definitely frisbees, and Devon's horrible. And you definitely put the jam on.
Devon's horrible. Mate.
Devon's horrible. Is that where he's from or something?
No, yes, he is. And
just to see how far I can wind him up.
You want to wind up the biggest contributor to this show?
Yeah, exactly. We've got a super chat from one angry pagan. I'm about to read out.
Now you Wade at this point.
Mikey,
you know what I mean?
yeah, now he's just
trying to demonetize.
Well, Wayne's demonetizing me on YouTube, and Mike's making sure no one gives a bloody super chat by slagging people off.
Yeah.
None of that abuse over here on the
bench.
None of that
anyone anywhere. Can we
wait till we open up the conversation about whether it's cream and jam and whether actually Cornwall invented the scones from cream and jam.
The scones, not scones, you malformed bastard.
They're definitely skins.
They're fucking scones.
So one of the biggest differences between a disc and a frisbee, because you asked, you would never want to catch a disc. They are heavy and they are weighted, and they will tear your hands asunder. You don't want to play catch with those. Yeah, they're like different weights, and they flip after like certain distances and stuff like. It's just like golf clubs. So like they have putters, they have drivers.
100 frisbees there. Look, they're all different colors and shapes.
Did you not hear anything I've said?
They're not frisbees.
Can I do one angry pagan super chat, please?
That blue thing is a fucking frisbee if I've ever seen one. That is
The blue one is a
Read
frisbee.
one angry pagan.
Right. Okay, I've just muted everyone but me. So hi to one angry pagan. Thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hot take: by dismissing Rayna as potential PM for being too divisive, aren't we doing exactly what we're accusing Starmer of? Capitulating to bigots. Perhaps, one angry pagan. I didn't say that. Phil said that. Take it up with Phil. Thank you very much for the super chat. And I'll turn everyone else's mics on now. They were literally talking over each other a lot. But I'm just going to bring their sound back on, right, so you can hear them now. But before we do go on, I want to answer something that Alex Morgan asked this morning in the chat. He was asking about Romanian citizenship. I've had a look into it. First of all, yes, you can get dual citizenship. We can get dual. It's cream first. You can get Romanian citizenship and British citizenship, dual citizenship. The other thing is, I had to look on what Labour are trying to do, where they're going to make it. You got to wait 10 years to get your residency here, your citizenship here. Sorry, and yes, it is going to be retroactive. So if you've been waiting 4 years and 11 months to become a British citizen, you're going to have to wait another 5 years. That I think is absolutely disgraceful. I really hope it doesn't go through. There's going to be a bit of a backseat backbench rebellion. I'm pretty sure of it. And Dog 4x4, finally, before I let everyone else speak, why is the bin ahead of you given I'm in the UK? Asks Dog 4x4, because we run an accessible service here on Politics Social. So we have subtitles, so we have a 30-second delay while Google tries to work out what the fuck I'm saying.
Exactly, which is why it's scones. And I have to. The only reason I'm here is to pronounce things properly for the subtitles.
Scone.
It's just putting S apostrophe gone.
It's just
scone.
Yeah. Have you noticed when you watch?
First. Do you know what I do, Mike? Do you know what I do, Mike? I get my scone.
Me again,
and I cut
am prepared. By the way,
I cut it in half. Right. I cut my scone in half, and then I got the two halves like that. And one of them, I put jam first, and then I put cream. And then the other one, I put the cream first and then the jam. And I show everyone and just make them all mad.
You're like a sensuous dad.
I have never thought this hard about
which one do you put
jam
peanut
and
butter
cream fucking scones. Like
scones.
I put whatever. I put
the
fucking
Which one do you put
jam
peanut
and the
butter on?
cream on one side each, and I put it together and I eat it.
Yeah.
Ali, you have a message.
That's what we would expect of an American immigrant.
Well, this is, you know what? I have got time to play around with my food and work out what fucking way I need to put this bullshit on this fucking pastry. I don't care. Will it taste good together? Yes. Let's get it together.
This is why the world
it's all kicking off in the chat. It's all kicking off in the chat. Jam first, says Richie got in capitals. Reverend Kathy, jam first, big capitals.
You people care about nothing. I'm like, what's going on?
Jam first, and then we got
this.
And then
all the things of the world.
Scott is saying, "Nah, cream, winky face."
This is entirely. This is the
This is why Britain is in the state that it's in.
Yeah, we should.
This is the shit that Brits argue about.
Y'all literally fell for the left
matters.
Twix. Y'all fell for the left Twix right. Y'all fell for the left Twix right Twix fight. Like.
No. They argue over the fact that what should a Snickers be called? A Snickers or a marathon?
It's a marathon.
Yo, here we go.
Okay.
It's a marathon. Much better
It
name.
used to be called a marathon back
Snickers
in the 80s.
sounds like knickers.
And you don't like Snickers?
I'm just going to go ahead and steer you guys away from there because your accents are very thick. Dark 4x4 says, Ali, we call them pigeons. Use a 12 bore. Oh, he's treating them like clay pigeons, mate.
Okay, okay.
What,
is that the same sort of
scones?
thing? No, the frisbees, bro.
Yeah, pigeon pie. That's completely different.
Yeah.
Have we invented a whole new sport where you toss a scone in the air and shoot it with a 12?
Oh, that'd be great.
This is outrageous.
Yep.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Mike is completely unimpressed.
It's all going to be part of my campaign for
He
the
does
upcoming
not give a shit
referendum
about
on
our scones,
sconage.
guys.
Well, Shane in the chat,
I don't
full
eat
on
breakfast,
caps.
actually.
I remember when Freddos were 10p. Well, exactly, mate.
Yes.
It's like 80p now. 80p.
I
Jesus
mean, how
Christ.
awful.
Do you put cream on first on your Freddo or the
Ooh.
Nutella?
Oh, blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Nutella? Ugh.
Mate. If there's ever another British Civil War, I want it to be about scones. I want it
And
to
also
will
down
be at
here,
this fucking
down
rate.
here we call
It
them
will be.
Fritos.
And then
call
and then
them
it ends,
Fritos.
and the jam people, the jam first people win, and the northern jam first leader meets with the southern jam first leader and says, "Oh, thank God we've won the war with the scones." And the southerners like, "No, it's scones," and that starts a whole new war. Yes,
The sword and the scone. Perfect.
Roxy Rule says it's Snickers. Get with the times, guys. No, marathon is still a better name for a chocolate bar.
Come here.
Even though it probably wouldn't help you in a marathon because it's made of chocolate. I don't know.
I don't know why they haven't bothered to put like marathon in brackets underneath it just to please everybody.
No,
That
just
would be
call it
fine.
marathon.
Well,
It's a much
sometimes
better name.
they release them as marathons, don't they?
But
That's
it's not as bad as Orange Phones changing the name to fucking EE. What was that about? They spent all that
Yeah,
money.
that's true.
All that money on the future's bright, the future's orange. Orange Wednesdays at the cinema. Everybody knew orange. It was a thing. It was like there everywhere you went. Orange, orange. And then one day they went, no, let's change it to E.
That was a marketing stroke of genius. Just to bring the Americans back into the conversation, haven't they just done something like this with HBO? Warner's have messed about with the streaming service and renamed it 5
Max or
times.
something, and then
It's now HBO Max again. Yeah.
Well,
They renamed it as They renamed it as Max. So the only good TV brand they'd actually got was HBO, and they messed about with that for about 6 years. And now they've gone back to HBO Max, and it's full of all the Discovery slop TV that they've been producing for years. So.
Pop quiz question. HBO, the ident at the beginning of HBO shows. What show was it off?
What?
It was off an HBO show.
What, the static?
The
thing with
static
the
at the beginning.
Is it the one the horror
wasn't
one
the
about the
original.
screen?
That wasn't the original, by the way.
No,
That is,
it was a 1990s comedy show. I want to say.
Howard
was
the
it
Duck.
The Tracy Ullman show.
No,
No. Oh.
It was Howard the Duck.
Judas Priest.
I have the maddest
Judas
feeling.
Priest.
This might be something that I just dreamt and it never actually
Death
happened.
metal.
I think it was Dream On. Does anyone remember Dream On? Used to watch
I
the
do
TV
remember that.
back in the
Actually.
1950s and stuff like that. I think that the ident from HBO at the beginning of the shows with the static screen and the music, I think that's from Dream On. I might be wrong. Someone.
You-
So you're just
Very
making up
different.
things that
I might
and
be
then calling
making
it a
stuff up.
quiz. That's not a quiz, Graham. You know that,
Something
right?
else.
Who told you how to make a quiz? Dark 4x4 had a quiz. This is not a quiz.
Just make up
HBO used to
questions
come
that
in.
only you know the answer because it's a
And then
I've
you
just
don't
made
even
up.
remember if-
I've just made
like-
up the answer.
He doesn't even know if we're wrong.
No, I,
Like-
don't, I have no idea. I was hoping that you could help me with it because I'm pretty.
Well, here's the thing.
I think that's a weird way of asking if anyone remembers something. Pop quiz. I don't remember this. Tell me if it's wrong.
Yes, it might be. I was hoping someone in
Good
the
luck with that.
Look
Look at the tree says
chat would
dream
know.
on. Look at the
So
tree
I
says
just
dream
watched
on.
it. I just watched the ident on YouTube, and it's not. It has static, but it is just in the words of the logo, not the background to the picture. I
Aha.
can't show you it, but it is.
That's not the original one, though.
Ooh,
Yeah,
That was
that's what
wonderful.
happens.
what?
Oh, that
That's
might
the
be.
80s
I don't know.
version.
This is
That's an
a.
80s
this
version.
is-
It's very different.
yeah,
I'm-
maybe.
That static one started up in the 90s, I think.
It
Yeah,
did.
I am unfamiliar with it.
Trivia.
Hey, they're bringing back.
This
they're bringing back
logo.
King of
This
the
is
Hill
on.
as well.
This is on Ripley's Believe It or Not. It
Here
does
we go.
say the logo was based on the opening credits from Dream On. Boom! Believe it or not.
I think if
Not-
probably right.
Believe it or not.
Remember when
walking
Jonathan?
on air.
Remember when Jonathan Frakes was hosting that show, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and he was so accusatory in how he read the thing. Like I always felt like attacked. Every time it was like, and this person survived underwater for 20 minutes. Believe it or not. I'm like, damn, it's fine. I believe you. Shit, damn. Why are you mad? Why are you so angry? Ever since you got dropped off of the fucking Enterprise, you've been a real dick.
This is my favorite copy of Ripley's Believe It or Not from 2015. Do you know why?
Who's
Scott, you're
Ripley?
absolutely right.
Are you
I've just
in it?
watched. I've just
He's
watched
in it.
season 1, episode
He's
1.
fucking
and
in it.
it is absolutely from Dream On. Basically.
Why would
He's
I
in
be in
There's-
Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Do you
There's
believe
a
this
Ripley's
guy
Believe
went
It or
to
Not
every single
museum
country
here in
without
our,
flying?
in our,
Sorry,
our
was that-
tourist strip.
Sorry, was that the clue? Q
What?
Yeah.
available from
It
Amazon.
was from Dream On. Anyway, do a win a fiver. Do a fiver to put in at Loser Fox's fucking
I'm
fund.
really surprised you don't have a bookmark to the exact page that you're featured
It's
on.
creased. It's all dog-eared right
Yeah,
there.
like he's got a crease in the corner.
Look at the trees.
It's
Look at the
it's
trees.
Page 58. Here's me.
It's the pages. It's the pages that are stuck together,
Yeah.
Graham.
2-page spread of me.
Yeah.
They're all pictures
Yeah.
of me in Ripley's Believe
Yeah.
It or Not. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
Look at the trees.
grandchildren, which I'm never going to have.
Hold on there, Mike. Look at the trees over here saying the original static was with a projector starting. So that was like part of the aesthetic of that effect.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah,
Why would
I
the
just watched
projector have
episode.
static?
I watched series 1, episode 1, and it's a kid sitting in front of the telly, staring at the telly, and then it fades to the static, and the logo appears, and then the camera pans into the room.
Is it Idaho?
Very good, Graham. Good knowledge.
Thank you.
You weren't making it up.
There you go.
Thank you. And I'm in Ripley's Believe It or Not, so there's a good little tie in there.
That's
I
true.
think.
I didn't know
somehow.
that.
You didn't know.
Billy in
I'm
the
also
chat.
in Guinness Book of Records. Should go and get that.
Billy,
as well.
Oh, no.
Billy in the chat
You put
asks,
I'm surprised the certificate's not behind you.
is it Billy in the chat asks, is it Idaho and
next to
Indiana that looks similar when you reverse one?
Wyoming's just a square, isn't it?
It might be Illinois and Indiana. They're pretty similar.
I don't know where my certificate is.
Ooh.
Mississippi and Alabama. Yeah, they definitely
I
look
read
like they're reversed.
Did I read it wrong in the chat? This is quiz night and bondage frisbee throwing. Yeah,
Bondage frisbee.
Sure.
No,
Bondage
it's
frisbee.
it's house elf bondage. It's a little thing for
I thought
keeping your house
I
elf.
thought we were supposed to be talking about Laurence Fox.
Laurence Fox and his 5-pound.
Does a ball gag count as a bit of clothing? So if you give that to your house elf, does it go, aha, Dobby is free, and then runs away?
No, not the safe word. Get back in the chains.
Yeah.
If it was that easy, motherfucker, this dungeon would be empty. But it isn't, is it? Is it?
Dobby has been gifted a leather.
Answer me.
He is free.
Look up
Dobby has
and
been gifted a
answer
jock
me.
strap. He is free.
Dobby has been gifted
Dobby is
Master's
free.
Use condom.
Master's used condom. Dobby is free.
Dobby is free.
Dobby is free.
Stretches it above his head, twangs back.
Wears it like a hat.
Well, you know I'm gonna spoil it for you guys, yeah? Dobby's dead.
Dobby is
What?
dead.
Dobby's
Died in the last movie.
Shit.
Yeah,
Dobby's
Dobby's dead.
Why did
Dead
they
is
kill
dead.
Dobby?
Dead Dobby. So is Hedwig.
Break the news gently to us.
So is
Hedwig
Dumbledore.
died
Dobby's
too?
dead.
It's serious. It's a fucking bloodbath, that last book.
They kill everyone.
Why did Hedwig
Last
have to
couple
die?
books, yeah.
She didn't kill the one that
It was a
wanted to die.
loss
then.
of innocence.
Does J.K. Rowling
One of his
turn out to be a
childhood.
lovely human being after all the books are finished? And
No, she turns out to be a horrible
benefit of
bog troll who spends the
Oh.
rest of her miserable days sitting there, hunched
In a moldy
outside
castle.
the women's toilets, going, "You can't come in. You don't look feminine enough."
So did you guys watch Hellboy 2?
Yes.
Where they went to the
Yeah,
troll
Golden
market?
Army.
Yeah.
When they went to the troll market?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
a long time ago.
It wasn't as good as
So here, this might jog the memory. They've got the canary in the cage, and there's like a street walking woman, and she's got a card. She's like, "Hello, dearies," and she's doing all that kind of stuff. And they got the weird goggles. And it's like, "I see you for what you are," and she's like, "Ah, get that horrible creature." That is J.K. Rowling. She's that troll thing that's terrified of canaries. People should just drag canaries around her to see if she just starts freaking out.
Well, Anne Phillips is saying, why did they kill Dobby? Because he was feckin' annoying, is why. Next in line, Jar Jar Binks. Well, funny you should say
Hey,
that,
leave
because
Jar Jar
eagle-eyed
alone.
Star Wars nerds like myself, who watched the last few episodes of Andor, noticed that in the background of Luthen's emporium of exotica from around the galaxy, it included the skull of a Gungan. So Jar Jar Binks' skull is a little Easter egg in Andor for you. If you're watching it on a big screen and you freeze frame it, you can see Jar Jar Binks' skull. So there you go.
Why
He's
would they
definitely-
preserve
Well, sure, it's
his
Jar Jar,
skull?
though.
Yeah, how you know it's Jar Jar?
Because there's only one Gungan in it. He was in
Wow,
cover
they're all the
scans.
same,
He was in
Ollie.
cover scan, and so was the Emporium.
They're all the same, Ollie.
Of mysterious artifacts
yeah.
around
Wow.
the galaxy.
They're all the same.
I bet he calls them Sand people still.
No, there were no other
Yeah.
Gungans. It was just him. I saw him when he went out on his little pod and went, Misto. He was the only Gungan. Everyone else there
Wow.
was
And he
from
did the
Nepo.
voice
You're
too.
saying he was the
Wow.
only Gungan on Coruscant.
You went there.
If
You
you look,
did the
Yeah,
voice.
did
if
it.
you look at
He did
He
do
did
the
the
look
voice.
at the council scene, if you look at the council scene, there's actually a pod of Gungans when he's there talking. So there's
See?
a bunch of
Okay.
them.
Oh,
So-
See? They're all the same to him.
well, it's
You
one of
seen
them.
one, you seen them all, Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff True saying Jar Jar was a Sith. Yeah, absolutely.
He might have been,
Miso.
Potentially, that in one of the realities he was, definitely.
for sure.
Chris C is saying, I always thought Professor Umbridge is a mirror of J.K. Rowling. No, Professor Umbridge is too nice. Like J.K. Rowling, one day she looked at herself in the mirror and went, "Oh my god!" And then from then on, she just
Everyone
hated
thinks I'm a
trans people.
nice person, and I'm
She
not.
just didn't like what she saw in the mirror. It's very sad.
Fastest
What
cake in
about
the world? The scone.
Big Boss Naz, aka Brian Blessed? No,
Harry Potter and
his
Harry
his
Potter.
skull would be too big. And Anne Phillips has
Harry
dropped
Potter and the War of
£5
the
in the super
Scones.
chat fund. Thank you very much, Anne Phillips.
The sorcerer's scone.
You definitely
Sorcerer's
right.
Stone.
I'm just going to turn their sound off. Right, Anne Phillips, thanks very much. You definitely deserve this more than Looza. Yes, thank you so much. And he's got his pad up to say jam first, which is wrong. We all know it's wrong.
Bitterly divided over
North
breakfast.
Sea, it's wrong.
Have we now genuinely raised more money than Looza?
Yes, we
raised?
have. We've raised
There you go.
£12
Harry
tonight.
Potter and the Prisoner of Stone.
Doing all right.
Which court
That's the
case are you
stone.
going to use it for, Graham?
For all of them. Oh my God, there's just so many.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Scones.
I've done about 5,000 hours of live streaming. I've said some terrible things about awful people, and they're all very rich. So, you know,
The scone of fire had me on the tip of my seat.
yes, indeed. But there we go. Next time I turn the sound off, I've got this.
Harry Potter and the Half Jam Scone.
Oh, look, it's become a
And the
campaign
half
now.
jam. And then that was followed by the half cream scone.
The Half Jam, Half Cream Scone.
We should make a big gay Harry Potter series called Harry
As in
Potter.
Scone.
Many fan fiction writers have done just
No, but
that.
actually do it like live. You know, that would really piss her off. Have an all
Well, who are
trans
you going to
cast.
be, Weasley?
Let's have an all trans Harry Potter. I think it'd be fucking brilliant.
I
She'd
think
just-
someone's written that already
she'll
as well.
cry herself to death. They'll be like, "Oh, we need to go into the women's toilets to get into the Chamber of Secrets," and like, "Oh no, we're not allowed to go in the women's toilets," and then they all die.
It's funny. 'cause,
Transmogrify.
Hermione goes into the men's toilets in the Chamber of Secrets.
Yes.
Well, wasn't Harry talking to like Moaning Myrtle?
And I would think Professor McGonagall was in there as well.
What?
Wasn't Harry talking to
Really?
like Moaning Myrtle? That wasn't in the boys' bathroom, was it?
No,
that was
genuinely-
it was in the boy prefects.
yeah, and she comes out the bath while he's having a bath, and she's looking at him.
And looks at his pee-pee.
Yeah,
Wow,
she's
and she
she's
wrote that, and she
she's
wrote
like
that
80
down.
Years old or something.
She wrote that down with her adult hands on a fucking
Yep.
cocktail napkin. She's like, I want to give this to children. This
There's
this ghost pervert who's just staring at kids.
What the fuck is the point of the fucking the pictures that move? They're fucking useless. Like someone's running at Peter Pettigrew's running around the school, and then that little shit with the fucking hair he's running around the school making the fucking magic vanishing case out of the what's it called, the prestige, turn up so he can get all his mates
Captures
in.
the souls of the person.
And
So if
they're
the
like,
person
oh,
then
we can't
passes
find this
on, they
person
stay
in
there.
Hogwarts. There's fucking pictures looking at everyone. That's the fucking pictures.
It's entirely so that Dawn French could have a cameo in one of the movies.
Literally
That's why
that.
they did it.
They cut out Rick Mail out of the original. He filmed scenes
Did they?
for them and they cut him out. He was Peeves the
Really?
Poltergeist. I'll never forgive him. That's how you knew that J.K. Rowling was a wrong one.
Why?
This is really
She
why
made-
you don't
she
like
made
J.K.
that,
Rowling,
That
isn't
was
it?
John Cleese in the
They all
end, wasn't
started
it?
there. No, he played nearly headless Nick.
Nearly.
Nearly.
True
I
story.
actually researched this. Anne Phillips has just brought it up. I did ask my son, who's a big Harry Potter, was a big Harry Potter fan, or is a big Harry Potter fan, not a J.K. Rowling fan.
Mhm.
But
That's the category I'm in.
there are no instances of polyjuice potion changing somebody's gender, just their identity. So polyjuice potion is something you can change the way you look, but there are no examples of somebody changing gender using that juice in the book.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, because it doesn't
Hang
change
on,
your
what?
voice,
Yes,
it just
there
changes
is.
your appearance.
Go on
No,
then,
it doesn't
because I
change your
did ask.
voice.
Oh, there's loads.
I
I
did
mean,
ask.
okay, the scene in the beginning of the last couple of movies, the Deathly Hallows Part 1, they all take polyjuice potion so they can look like Harry.
Yep.
And one of the people
They
who
all take
takes that
yep.
potion is Hermione.
Is a girl,
Yes.
but she
In
still
the,
sounds
in the,
like
All I
in the
can
seventh
say-
book, there is an example of them doing that.
All I
It-
can
it-
say is
it
I now
still
have to
sounds like
fire
herself.
my son and write him out of my will because
Yeah, you do.
he was supposed
He's
to be
done.
my Harry Potter expert. I asked
He's
him,
done.
and he said
He's outta
no.
here. He's
you need
out
to
of
do that and give all your money to a trans charity.
This is why I made two boys, so I've but
Okay,
basically.
good. That's always good.
One is bound to let you down.
Yeah, having a spare. Yeah, she's but J.K. Rowling, you know, in her old age, she's turned into a hateful, spiteful bog troll, and I
definitely-
hate her. Oh, I just hate her. I don't
So
know why
what
she has to
happened?
be
What's
so
going on with
horrible.
this Laurence Fox thing? So I'm curious. I don't really know a lot about it. I try not to.
So he told people to attack ULEZ cameras. Mikey, do you know what ULEZ cameras are?
Coming to you
Yeah.
soon, bro. Coming to a city.
Of course I do.
ULEZ is a porn site where you get to watch lesbian videos. No,
And the
Let
councils
it-
have to maintain the cameras. for
Okay.
this
it's
porn
the
site.
ultra low emission zone.
All these people
And
look
it
up.
used to just be within the
No.
North Circular and the South
No,
Circular of
no.
London, but now it goes all the way to the M25, which encircles the whole of London, the road to hell, as Chris Rea once sang. And and some residents aren't happy about it. But the thing is, you only have to pay the fine of like £12 a day if you're driving a vehicle, a petrol vehicle, that's over 20 years old. So it's like if you've got an old banger that's just pumping out loads of noxious gas out the back of it, then you have to pay money, or you can trade it in, and they have schemes to get a new
And
car or set
90% of Londoners do not have.
And you think that's happening
in
And you think that's happening coming soon?
America.
Oh no,
Okay.
no! What I'm saying is, so this guy,
The same America where they just gutted the EPA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
no,
all right.
No, but
No,
New York is introducing a congestion zone.
That's already been there.
It's got nothing to do with Laurence
First step,
Fox.
bro.
So, Mikey, there's this Nepo baby who went to a very posh private school here in the UK called Harrow. And he's a complete gobshite, and his wife doesn't want anything to do with him. His kids don't want anything to do with him. He spends lonely Father's Day on his own, burning pride flags in the backyard. And he told his followers, who are all a bunch of fucking brain-dead morons, to go and attack the cameras that register your number plate, your license plate on your car, to see if it's acceptable to drive down the road without paying this tax. And he's now in jail. No, he's not in jail. He's in court because that's a criminal thing to do, because you're inciting people to commit a criminal act. And he's tried to raise £10,000, and he started his fund, and he's raised £5.
Huh. Okay, he's doing well.
Here I found J.K. Rowling.
Well, I thought it was a giant nostril behind you at first. Okay, it's a troll. I got you. All right.
Is that
I
from Doctor
literally
Who?
thought it was a giant nostril behind you.
Is that from Doctor Who?
I can see that.
I'm not
that's a
afraid
cave
of the
troll
yellow
from-
beast.
Has anyone watched the last episode of the new season of Black Mirror yet? The USS Callisto
Nope.
No.
into Infinity. It's fucking brilliant. All right, that's all I want to say about that. It was
Black
just so much
Mirror?
fun. Black Mirror, the TV show on
UK
Netflix.
TV show.
Yeah, but it's on. It's
might not
got
have
it's
it.
got a lot of Americans in it. It had the guy from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and it's had the guy, the woman from the thing. That's the sort of
You do
daughter of-
know they travel to work sometimes, right?
What?
American actors, they
What?
and travel to work. Yeah.
They let them out of America.
I
Don't let
know.
them back in again, though. Hey,
Well,
hey,
not
the
anymore.
boss.
They'll be
Bruce Springsteen's not getting back into America. Have you seen this? Have you seen Trump's?
Oh,
bloody-
Bruce Springsteen is. Yeah, Trump is upset.
He's not getting back to America, according to Trump.
He's not going to get back in.
He's
gonna-
written all this
gonna
stuff
exile him.
about try saying that in America, mate. Yeah, come over here and fucking say it.
Do you think he will literally try to exile
Yes.
Bruce Springsteen?
Of course he will. He's the guy who wrote in
Wow.
all caps, "I hate Taylor Swift," and got away with it.
That would be
I
hysterical.
thought that was you, Graham.
No, I love Taylor Swift. I love
I
Tay
thought
Tay.
you said
Take that back.
you were saying in the group chat that you really couldn't stand her.
Yeah. You said
don't know.
ever
It's
since
like
Donald,
power of
ever
the
since Donald
Swifties.
Trump.
The Swifties will come. for him.
the power of the Swifties.
Oh, I do, which is why I'm putting you
no
directly
one
in their
fuck with
path.
the Swifties.
Tay Tay.
Yeah,
He also
is
said he
amazing.
hated Beyonce, which I thought was wild.
Love
I can't believe
Beyonce.
Graham would say this stuff in the group chat.
She's beautiful and amazing and talented and awesome.
There's a wonderful little.
You
video
said
skit
worse
of
than
her-
J.K. Rowling.
Can we change the subject, please? Come on.
Yeah, I'm fucking
I can
hell.
feel the
I can't
death
keep
threats
talking about
coming.
her, man. But
This
yeah.
isn't good for me. So yeah, he wrote this thing about Bruce Springsteen saying he's going to kick his ass. Yeah,
Who said they was going to kick
I
his
don't
ass?
think he said that. He
called him a dried out prune of a rocker.
It was very convoluted and insane. I have the statement here actually. 'Cause someone sent it to me. I see highly overrated Bruce Springsteen goes to a foreign country to speak badly about the president of the United States. Never liked him. Never liked his music or his radical left politics. And more importantly, he's not a talented guy. Just pushy, obnoxious jerk who vehemently supported crooked Joe Biden, a mentally incompetent fool, and who at
who's
worst ever
talking.
president who came close to destroying our country. If I wasn't elected, it would have gone by now. Sleepy Joe. I mean, he literally started talking about Springsteen, and then he's on Joe Biden.
He loves Joe Biden. He misses him so
loves
much.
Joe Biden so much.
Yeah.
He misses his best friend.
That's not enough to say to him.
Sleepy Joe Biden didn't have a clue as to what he was doing, but Springsteen is dumb as a rock and couldn't see what was going on. Or could he? Which is even worse. This dried old prune of a rocker. Audacity. His skin is all atrophied.
No way. No way. No way he's talking about it.
No way. His skin's all atrophied. Ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back to the country. That's just standard fare. Then we'll see how it goes for him.
You know what? I just realized something. Because Trump has this obsession with Biden, right? Like he loves Biden. That is like his best friend. Like he loves all the fighting that they had, and then they had like their debate, and like they were supposed to be like these rivals forever. And Joe Biden is aging horribly, and I think he's getting scared.
Yeah.
He's getting scared that he is right behind Joe in age, and it's scaring him. So he keeps like, oh yeah, he's all crazy and demented, and he can't stay awake. Oh, who just fell asleep?
Yeah.
Who just fell?
Yeah, he fell asleep in the Middle East, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think he's I think this is a little projection because
Sleepy Trump,
little baby bear is scared of the outside world.
Everything about Trump is projection.
Yeah, he's terrified of he's terrified of his own cognition slipping, which is why he just keeps going after Biden.
Incontinence has been a rumor of for many years now.
Just
so
saying.
He might be competent, but he's not continent.
Chris C says, breaking news, US Supreme Court has blocked Trump from restarting deportations using the 1789 law, which sounds good to me. Alistair Kerm says, Graham, I am in danger now. I'm in danger. I get the impression I was supposed to say that in my Ralph Wiggum voice.
It has to be said, in regards to the Supreme
Alistair.
Court, they seem to be, even though he filled it up with his judges, they're gatekeeping him. They're they're trying, I think, to rein him in a little bit. And like they literally had a lawyer go in there like the other day and argue that is okay for the administration to ignore circuit court judges.
Yes.
And they had Amy Comer Barra, whatever her fucking name is. She was just sitting there going, really? Is that what you guys think? Like, and that she was a Trump sycophant. She was so I do wonder
they might go for it though.
We talked about before, Graham, when you've talked about how the Supreme Court will do Trump's bidding. It's turning out that's not really happening.
The problem with that is Trump's just taking the wrong. The Supreme Court will back him on everything else except taking away their own power. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take away their own power. And that's why they're objecting to that. But anything else, they're going to support him.
But
I think you're right. I think they're finally.
Supported him.
I think they've woken. I think they've woken up to the idea that they're under threat as well. Yeah, they're woke.
Supreme Court woke. No, but with this case that's going through at the moment, where they're trying to get the make it so that the administration can ignore lower judges, circuit judges.
Yeah.
Like if that goes through, if the Supreme Court says, yeah, that's fine, and you have to bring class action lawsuits against the executive if they do something mad, and you can't just go to a court, and also that court cannot decide to stop a executive action for the whole of the country in any part of the country. It means that when Trump isn't with us anymore, and there is a Democrat president in place, that Democrat president can take your guns off you. And nothing can stop that from happening. Because, there'll be some civil cases, but they take years to go through. In the meantime,
who's going to pick them up?
Obama Mark II has got all your guns, mate.
Who's going to pick them up?
The gun police.
The good guys with guns.
Gun
They don't-
police.
The gun plate. Who's
That's
gonna
the way of thinking, isn't it?
That's the
Oh,
problem, Graham.
No, I hand
the-
over
the-
guns
the-
and
the-
dollars.
the-
Hey, man.
and then the Americans just are gonna go, here you go, take all my
Oh,
weapons.
the law changed. Let me just hand it over,
Let me
I
just hand it
guess.
all over to you.
The problem
All
is,
right.
Graham,
Yeah,
that
but
you're
if-
gonna
if
send
it's-
police in there with pistols going
if
up
it's
against
hand
guys
them
that are
over
gonna
or
have
die.
fucking 50
Have AR-15s.
What? No, they're
They're going to
Shotguns.
shoot each other, Graham. You know for a fact they're
Yeah,
going to start
they're
shooting.
gonna have,
each other,
like,
they say.
No, why would the police
M50s
have
or
to-
whatever? They're going to
No,
have
you-
so many different machine
gonna
guns.
have
Send a
literal
letter. You put a
rocket
letter through the
launchers.
door. Here's how you
Literal
do it.
rocket launchers.
You say, letter through the door. Give us your
Uh-huh.
guns. Or
Okay.
after this
Or what?
date, there will be a drone strike on your house.
No,
So you're
they're
gonna
And
shooting
then,
kill
out
and
of
then,
the
and then you
sky.
walk off. That's it. Give us your guns
They
or
have
drone
radar
strike.
on their
So-
houses. Some of these people are crazy.
So-
This is
That's it.
This is definitely
So-
going to work.
What do you
in
want?
America.
What's more important,
Graham's
your guns or your
plan
house?
here is. So Graham's plan here is.
Yes.
Put
If
a letter
you
through
don't
the
hand
door.
over
Yeah.
that pistol,
Yes.
your triplets will be drone struck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Graham. And remind me how Trump is bad.
This is what America does to every other country in the world.
Did you-
Let's you know.
Well, another
just say
problem
its
own
is
medicine.
missing with that, Graham, is if you do that, then you've basically just depopulated the entire United States because
Yes.
everyone has
Yes.
a pistol and
Problem
none
solved.
of them are going to
Yeah.
turn them over.
Great.
So
Big
I already
problem with
turned mine in
America,
yesterday.
apart from our friendly Americans here, is Americans. America would be a lovely place if it wasn't for the Americans.
Just the casual racism. Also, fuck you,
not-
Graham. You gotta watch your goddamn slander. I don't talk shit about you guys, even though you
Yes,
have
you do.
short-
Literally
You
do.
tell us that we
You
do
do,
our
man.
scones
I don't
wrong.
I don't generalize in the same way that you generalize and just
You
shit talk
literally do, dude.
Americans.
You
I'll say
literally
you got-
laughed
Is
at
it racism
Graham
or
just now for
nationalism,
having
though?
the audacity of thinking that someone could just come collect their guns. Because culturally,
I laughed at the audacity. I didn't just sit there and say, you know, British people are kind of insert insult. Like, you need to chill, brother. I
we
don't,
are, though.
I
We
don't
are.
want to have to stand up for MAGA, but God damn it, Graham, we're gonna get some ground rules down here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being facetious.
Not all Americans.
Calling for drone strikes
Drone
against
strike.
Americans who don't hand
Actually,
over their
You
the
know,
guns.
gun
just so
argument,
casual
I
about the
call-
shit.
They've got all
I
these
call-
drones, you know,
I
they've got to
call
sell by
Graham
date.
a
Got to use
little
by date.
glitter.
I got a kid here.
What?
You fucking monster. Jesus.
Well, stop swearing in front of the kid, Mike.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't speak
Some
English,
respect.
but she does speak drone strike.
Did you
Not
see
speak, but
Trump in
suffer from.
Did you see Trump in Saudi Arabia talking about drones?
We will come back to
Forget-
that in one moment, but first, Kieran Crotson, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. The Supreme Court are playing a long conservative game, or their geese are cooked. So there you go, the goose.
Yeah, I
Goose
think
is
that's true.
loose about the goose. Okay, sorry. Yes, drone strikes.
No, he was in Saudi talking
He
about
started
a
scatting,
room full
didn't
of
he? What does he call it?
when
The
he fell
weave.
as-
He
yeah,
started
when
the
the
weave.
weave. When he fell asleep and he was in a room full of arms dealers doing billion-dollar arms deals, and he fell asleep during that, and then he sort of woke up and he started talking about drones, and he said, You can be hiding behind a tree and a drone just comes out and it circles the tree and it just shoots you and it chops the tree down, kills the tree's chopped down, you're dead as well. Completely dead tree. And he said, and that's
The tree.
lumberjacks. It's like lumberjacks, you know, they're just chopping like Duffy, like Sean Duffy, our transport secretary. And you go, where the fuck are you going with this, you madman?
He had nothing to say.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. He
He
had
doesn't
nothing to say.
know.
That's what he does. The weave is basically him blabbling because he's got nothing
It
of
is.
substance to say.
Yeah.
That's all that is
Yo,
about.
they're going to have to reckon, because there will be a day after this era where they're going to have to reckon with how obviously insane he sounds, and and that they sat there and said, like,
And laugh at his
he's
jokes.
not going to be here forever. And you guys, you know, this is all recorded, right? Like,
They don't care.
like we have all this shit on tape. So
Yeah, but
Kinda like,
you know their
with,
plan is to
W-
never relinquish
George
power.
W. Bush.
They
He
don't-
also-
they're not
he
really
also
gonna have a
started
choice,
talking
Howard.
about stealth.
I'm not going to have a
I-
choice.
He wants to redesign stealth bombers.
If you have another election,
Because they're not stealthy enough, because he can see them. When they're sitting down on the tarmac, he can see them, and he thinks that means they're not stealthy enough, because he's like, but I can see it. It's there.
I just saw
How is
that
that
documentary. The documentary
That's a
with Wonder Woman, and her. Now that was stealth. Now she had a stealth jet. Where do we get those? He's yo.
Do you know what the irony of ironies would be if he took that fucking jet from the Qataris and something went horribly wrong?
Well,
Because he's got rid of all the air traffic
Easy.
controllers.
Easy.
Some of
us
Oh,
live
the
there.
irony! Oh, the irony!
I mean, that is the worry. That's literally the worry.
Is it a
would you
worry,
give
though, or
the
a
president of the
hope?
United States a plane, and then you could take him out. Like that's the
cartoon.
problem.
There was a cartoon on the newspapers of an obvious Qatari controlling it with a little radio controller.
Yeah.
But it's not only that,
we're in
is
the
it
middle
like
of
the
Pacific
story?
Now
What-
that goes down, turn it off.
It's a flying microphone, is what it is.
Shane has joined us. Thank you, Shane. You are awesome. That is really, really cool of you. Shane has now joined Lone Star. So welcome. You are awesome. Yeah.
You are awesome.
And if anyone else wants
Allegedly.
to join, if anyone want to join the channel, just hit the join button. There it is on Canadian Olsen there. Anyway, sorry, where were we? Yeah, Trump. It's just,
Yeah, no.
I hate that we
One of
talk
the things
about
about
it. I
the
don't want to talk about it.
one of the things about
It is
the plane
entertaining.
story that gets me is he sat there doing an interview with Sean Hannity in Air Force One, saying this is a 40-year-old plane. It's a nice plane, but it's not great. It's not the best plane. And you land anywhere in the Middle East, and you park next to the great planes of all the
Their
great
planes are
kings. And we-
bigger than mine.
Yeah, and
That's
we look
basically
stupid. So why wouldn't I take this free Palace of the Air? But then
My
you
wings
look
are
at
little.
and Qatar have given him a 7-year-old Boeing 747, right? You know what? The King of Qatar is going to replace that with a brand new palace in the air
The King of Qatar
that will be
already
better.
has replaced it. He has
Exactly.
given Trump the spare.
Exactly.
They
So
couldn't
it-
sell it. They
It's
couldn't
And
the
what
used
Trump
one.
doesn't
They
seem
wanted
to
buy
Trump
it.
doesn't seem to get is just how pathetic it makes America look internationally. It's
This
just like
is a hand me down.
yeah,
This
you're
I
jealous
wonder
of the
how-
planes,
I
and
ju-
you're happy to have a second-hand plane from an Arab sheik, basically.
Yeah,
It's
secondhand
kind
Arab party plane. I wonder just how dirty those
Oh
sheets
God,
are.
dude, who would want?
of, there are,
Oh God.
I hope
There
they
are
shampoo
two
the
bedrooms.
carpet.
There will
Two
definitely
bedrooms.
be
You
some
ain't shampooing that out.
on those toilet seats.
And the chandeliers. Shampoo the
The
chandeliers.
ceilings.
Don't go in there with a black
no,
light.
Deep
let's-
clean the
let's
ceilings,
be
lads.
No black lights
What I
allowed.
understand-
Yeah, get the black
what I
lights out.
understand, The Qataris tried to sell it, and no one would buy it
Because of the stains,
Because of
Scott.
the-
The
God,
stains.
it smelled
There's
like
so many
linden
stains.
trees. It smelled like motherfucking linden trees.
It costs too much to maintain. This is why they're trying to get rid of it, because they bought a new one. They don't want to maintain two planes. They want to maintain one. So they're trying to get rid of it, but they couldn't. They couldn't sell it. So let's just give it to the Americans because they're dumb and they'll take it.
The other
Scott,
thing that
stop being
struck me, though-
racist. How come Scott can say
It's
that
his
about
word.
Americans? and I
Generalising.
can't?
He was born here.
How dare you generalize?
He was born here.
I went to
Generalizer.
school there. I know they're dumb because I am.
No,
This
no,
plane
don't
is-
say that.
He's had to
This plane's
suffer us.
7 years old, you said, Mike, right? So Air Force One currently is 35 years old.
Right.
Right?
Nothing.
But
A respectable age.
like Tay-Tay.
It's a flying fortress that can
Like
survive
Tay-Tay.
nuclear fucking blasts.
Just like Tay-Tay.
Just like Tay-Tay.
Like, what are you talking about? You want this to be your? It's not. It shouldn't even be allowed to be. It'd take $1 billion worth of work to renovate it.
Christopher Golding
Read
says
it.
the plane is in Texas now.
Yeah, but
new
it's all
one.
blingy. It's all gold and tacky inside. It's like 80s style gold tat.
Oh, that's
And
like
that's what he
every
likes.
That's why
hospitality.
he wants it.
Peckham's
That's
spring
exactly what it
water
sounds
of
like.
It's like it's
fucking
perfect.
jets.
What a
It's
perfect
It's like
inside of a
sweet,
plane.
The Trump hotel is all gold.
It's like his.
He is-
the
He is
apartment
tacky
he had back in the
Midas,
90s.
isn't he? Everything
Oh,
he
he is-
touches turns into plastic gold, basically.
He is new money
Oh,
tacky.
he's so tacky.
For someone who comes from money, he's new money tacky.
No, but his dad didn't, did he? So
He came from
That
from
was
weird
immigrant.
money, didn't he?
Yeah.
yeah.
But like that's tacky money. It's not classy money. It's
Yeah.
tacky money. Yeah. I'm gonna have gold seats everywhere on my toilet.
Also, are you saying Tay-Tay is like 38 years old?
no, she's
and a bit
35
tacky?
years old. She's nuclear proof and she can fly at 40,000 feet.
Yeah, and just because
But also-
35
but
years
also
old
a bit
doesn't mean
tacky.
it's
She
35
has
years old.
anti-missile defenses, Tay-Tay.
And tacky.
That's how
and from the
awesome she
Qatar.
is.
Tay-Tay's tacky.
No, she's
it
not
is probably
tacky,
the
she is
best
classy.
aircraft in the world.
Every era has been an era of immense class. indignity.
He's saying she runs on jet fuel, is what he's saying.
She does run on jet fuel because she is.
I think your strategy of going against Tay-Tay is not going to work for this channel.
I'm not going to go against it. I'm definitely not going to go against Alistair, who's dropped a super chat in the chat. Thank you very much to Alistair, who says, the plane will call it Tiny Mushroom One.
Brilliant.
Nice. And yeah, he had a little trailer. He had a little trailer. Kate's reminded me of this. A little trailer that followed him around Saudi Arabia with
that's exactly what I think it looks like.
McDonald's burgers in it because he needed his McDonald's burgers.
But that's exactly what I think his penis looks like.
I would like to know where that plane will be flying so I can not be underneath it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would get into anyone else's gifted plane. Like,
that's what everyone's saying. Why?
And the thing is,
could have anything on it.
And the thing is, last time he was in, he bitched about Air Force One. So guess what they did? They started working on a brand new Air Force One, and now this bitch takes this fucking plane. Can you imagine working on the first one and you got the wrench and you just, all right, guys, just a couple of more. Motherfucker, no, you have a plane. He has a plane. Just be patient. And how about this? How about this? Stop flying to fucking Florida every weekend.
But let's just say he flies
and then
to
maybe
Florida,
you won't wear it
and
out.
the thing blows up in the fucking air, right? Are the Americans really going to be surprised? Are people literally going to go, well, we didn't see that coming?
No, but I don't think they're going to booby trap it. But I think with the way that air traffic control is in America, it might smack into something else midair, and that would be the ultimate irony that he goes down in a plane crash, in a plane that's given to him by the Qataris, like because of the cuts that he has made to the FAA.
But the Qataris released the onboard recording of Trump screaming while he's sitting on the toilet as the plane goes down. And nobody questions how they got that video.
Where's my burger?
Where's my McDonald's burger? I'm shitting out one now. I need a new one to replace it.
Yeah. Sitting on the toilet, eating a burger in a cape, dead. Just like Elvis.
Just like Elvis.
Just like Elvis. It's the way I'd want to go.
Just like Mama Cass.
Yeah, yeah.
She was eating a sandwich.
PJ says, I want Air Force 1000, not one. Bigger number in it. True. And Shane K, £2 super chat, says, born in the USA, brackets, but denied entry. Yeah, that's something else that's going before the Supreme Court, which is about birthright citizenship. The 14th Amendment, is it?
Yeah.
Americans? Is it the 14th? Yeah, so
but that's a Bruce Springsteen reference.
They didn't mean it, though, when they said that anyone was born here. They didn't mean it. It's a bit like, the whole thing about freedom and rights and due process. They didn't really mean it. Just,
the definition of persons as well that the Supreme Court's going through at the moment. Supreme Court clearly saying it just means anybody. It would have said citizens if it meant American citizens, but it says
some constitutions
have the right of the law. Yeah.
Some constitutions actually say citizens and specify whether it's citizens, but ours says person because it meant person.
Anybody, yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a new country.
If Donald Trump's plane did blow up in the sky, right?
Scott, I'm streaming, dude. So can you stop saying stuff like that?
You're obsessing about this.
Yeah,
I just want to know if you guys would laugh.
I'd be shocked and horrified.
No, don't get us flagged by the fucking AI with Cash fucking Pineapple in charge of the FBI. Easy, brother.
To be honest with you, Scott, I would not be, there'd be innocent people like Elon Musk and Sean Hannity on there and maybe Laura Loomer. And, it's not,
I mean, then the guy who does all the jigsaw traps in the Saw films would have to make a new doll.
Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No, Laura Loomer.
Taylor Greene might be on it.
Imagine if she was on the plane.
They both look like Jigsaw.
I'm sorry, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is the worst human. Like,
she
Hitler was bad.
No,
Trump is bad.
Right?
She's not going to win.
Genghis Khan, pretty bad. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh my God.
Hey,
stop it.
Stop it.
Stop that. You stop that. Oh, stop that. Sorry. No, honestly, she is just the absolute worst. Did you see that someone was counting up how many times she banged the gavel in one of the
it was so funny. On Unbox Politics. For everybody over on Politics,
the most Karen thing in the world, wasn't it?
For everybody on Politics Social side, over on the Bin Podcast Network, last night we had Unbox Politics, where we do like political videos, and then we give them like A through F ratings. Dude, I wish I did have the timer because we watched that yesterday, Graham. She must have hit that gavel about 645,000 times. Yeah. I mean, it was just like, you're not recognized. You're not recognized. Yeah. And then like her own person like tried to back her up. She started gaveling his ass too. I was like, damn, that's your own person. Yeah. That's your friendly fire, man. You gaveling everybody.
She is something else.
No one's safe.
Super Tiny says MTG is hot like Kemi.
Ooh,
okay.
Whereas Paul says MTG is female Chucky.
But she's like, she's a good example of what's going to happen with the reform councillors that have all just been elected when they turn up for council meetings and
they
sessions.
don't turn up though, do they?
It's important.
That's been a council meeting in Durham. Yeah,
work is involved.
I think the first council meeting here in Durham is next week, and it's open to the public, so I will be attending.
Brilliant. Your deputy councillor,
there's going to be a new show here on the channel called Reform Watch Durham, and I will be telling you every little fucking fart and whistle what those motherfuckers do in this fucking county. And I've got a lot of people who are helping me out with it. A lot of people who lost their positions as councillors, in fact.
Can you film me out with it inside or not? You can't film
the council film it themselves. I don't even
Are they streaming it?
Yeah, they
you
can see it on the YouTube page. I've been doing all my research and checking out how I can trip them up and make them fuck themselves over. So, for instance, if there's a council meeting and you're friendly with a councillor, make sure that they know the rules, but the person that they're up against don't know the rules, because if the refuck announce who their chairman's going to be of the debate, the speaker, of the debate. That will be someone who doesn't know what they're doing, because it'll be someone who's just newly elected, and they won't know that if they break the rules by allowing their people on their team to break the rules, then anything that the council decide in that particular meeting is invalid. Ha! So don't tell them. Don't tell.
Well, you
don't broadcast it. Whatever you do.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't watch this.
The other thing that people need to know right now is that if you want to build wind turbines or solar panels on your farm, fucking put the application in right now, because even though your refuck councillors will say no to it, because Richard Tice has already put an email out saying that they will say no, they will have decided what they're going to do ahead of time, which is against the law in this country. And so when it goes to court for appeal, the appeal will win. So if you want to build stuff on your farm, now's the time to put in your application, because you'll definitely get it, which is kind of cool. But there you go. We've got loads of penguins in the chat and lots of badgers as well. Badger. But yeah, I'm going to be doing Reform Watch Durham, also known as Crafty Wank and the Refuckers.
That's going to get monetized pretty quickly.
And now a special number from our favourite house band. It's Crafty Wank and the Refuckers. I call them motherfuckers. Alistair,
a few of them have quit though, haven't they? This week.
Oh yeah, because they realised they had to do work.
They realised they had to do actual work. Yeah,
they were paper candidates.
Show up for these things.
But Crafty Wank's mum is a councillor here now, so I'm going to ask a question. You got to submit it in advance, and it's going to be
wait. Who Crafty are you referring to when you call them Crafty Wank?
Darren Grimes.
Is Darren Grimes a councillor in your borough?
He is the deputy
leader
of Durham County Council. Yeah. Oh, and they're planning to sell off the Gala Theatre. They're planning to sell off our leisure centres. They're planning to sell off any bit of publicly owned stuff out of Durham. They're going to sell it to their fucking mates for, a bargain.
100.
And they're going to make a load of money out of it. But the good news is, for the daft fuckers who live around here who voted for refuck, is that multi-millionaires, not just millionaires, multi-millionaires will be able to get an account with Coots Bank. Yes! Yeah. Thank fuck for that!
Is there a branch in Durham High Street? Oh.
No, mate. This is quite an impoverished area.
Billy says, I live in County Durham. F them.
Yeah, that's the plan. Alistair, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Can you dual stream it for us to watch? Says Alistair. I'll see what happens. Well, I'm going to work it out if I can stream from the council chamber. But I think most of it's going to be pretty boring. But if there's any juicy stuff that comes up, I'll get my.
It will be very boring, very formal.
Better to film it for clips. I think council meetings are not not the most engaging thing to watch.
Exactly.
Well,
But
How dare you?
they'll fuck up and then they'll fuck up and then they'll fuck up some more. So what I want to ask is I'm going to ask Darren Grimes if his mum knows why he's called Crafty Wank. That's the question I'm going to put forward.
Either way, it's bad.
Because his mum's going to be in the room.
Either way, it's like, no, I didn't know that was his nickname, or it's, yes, I do know that that's his nickname.
And I know why.
It makes sense.
Can you imagine how disappointed Grimes is that he didn't get elected leader? It was a three-way race. One of them was an ex-Conservative councillor.
Yeah.
Then you've got Darren Grimes, and then you've got a failed businessman, apparently.
Failed businessman?
3 collapsed businesses.
Couldn't organise
the businessman wins it. The guy that's got some council experience doesn't get a role at all, and Darren Grimes is now deputy leader.
Well, yeah.
I think it's going to end up like Brock. Have you seen what's happening on
councils? When they fuck up all these councils, everyone will understand. They won't get voted in at the general election.
Well, that's exactly what we're hoping, Scott. This could be. This
is going to break them.
This could be the silver lining of the cloud that is refuck.
Yeah. They're all fucking useless. Cloud. They're all going to try to do American tactics, right? Yep. Sorry, guys, but this is they're going to try this sort of doji,
accurate
stuff.
Scott's accurate, is he?
Yeah,
I was saying both.
That American style, like small government bullshit here, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
It's not working over here.
On the government.
I hate to be the cynic, but I think you might be wrong. I think
if
there's a way they can play this that will work. So and I know I harp on about this a lot, but we had a Green council down here for 8 years. They screwed up in a number of ways, and we still keep electing Green MPs. So it doesn't actually play out in a general election because most people don't know what their council does, and it's only going to be if we start sharing loads of links of idiot councillors that the story's going to get out there at all.
That's where the content's going to be, though.
Yeah, you might be right, but my feeling is that if they play it right, here's the way I'd play it: is I would constantly say that the blob is against me. They don't want me to do this. The executive who gets paid more than the prime minister refuses to let me do this, and they'll unearth a bunch of things about councils that are wrong, that are genuinely crap. Basically, the chief exec of Durham County Council, I imagine, or Durham Council, is paid in excess of £140,000.
Oh my God!
That's more than the prime minister.
This is
ridiculous. Speaking of pounds, Dark 4x4 comes in with a £2 super chat. Right. Think you better stop, children. What's that sound?
Okay. So then
everybody knows what's going
down. And but what I was about to say, I really argued with people about this in my local sort of council Facebook group, because they were going, this person earns this person earns this person earns this. I'm like, do you understand that these people are earning half of what they would earn?
Yeah. No, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand
people don't understand that. They don't get it.
But the problem is, like in the States at the moment, people don't really get math, and they think if it's more money than they're earning, then it's unfair. That's the way people look at it.
Yeah, but then they vote for millionaires and trillionaires. I don't
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, and all I'm saying is the hypocrisy just doesn't work. It doesn't work in the States at the moment as well. Trump is openly accepting $1 billion, $2 billion bribes from the Saudis, from UAE, these planes, etc. And people are saying, well, Biden's son traded off his name and his dad as the president, and he made $150,000 in Ukraine. And it's the same thing. And people just go, and they accept it. It plays out as they're all bad, and that's what it's going to be. And if they do their PR right, and I'm not suggesting that they should, but I think they'll come out of it saying it's impossible to run councils when there's a Labour government. That's all they have to say. And people are going to go, yeah, we need to get Farage into Parliament to make the changes that we need, basically.
Which is why I think when they make fuck-ups, we've got to really, really amplify their fuck-ups.
Yes, and I think they will be, because, again,
anything that makes them look incompetent. Yeah, it has to be good. It has to go viral.
Showing how stupid they are will become viral content. Ollie, what cocaine are you doing right now on that table? Like, what's going on?
I'm not doing cocaine. I'm getting ready to bust up some weed.
Okay.
I emptied
no cigar.
I'm not.
I say that's legal in Canada. Obviously, it's illegal.
I'm not committing murder. It's manslaughter. Can't you see?
Yeah.
It's obvious.
No,
but cocaine is still illegal in Canada.
Cocaine's legal everywhere.
Weed is legal. As I learned when I went to Toronto a few months ago, and the place absolutely stank of fucking weed.
Sounds good.
You're welcome.
Which is nice if you like the smell of weed, I guess. If you don't like the smell of weed, I guess that must be quite unpleasant.
If you don't like the smell of weed, you're wrong.
It's one of my
smells a bit like burning plastic.
And I don't even smoke it.
Hey, wait till you come down to Brighton. There is nowhere that you can't smell it around here.
Love it.
Oh, that slightly burning plastic smell.
That's what, honestly, that is probably what you guys need to do to save your empire.
I personally,
you gotta start legalizing some stuff.
I completely think the best thing
it's free money
to do is legalize weed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's free money. People will pay.
All this reform nonsense will go away because people.
Are you kidding me?
Just too
Call it NHS THC, and you just all the taxes from that go straight into your.
NHS?
You guys will have new hospitals every Starbucks.
100%.
People will spend everything.
Why hasn't that happened
and
in
pay
the
the
states that have legalized weed?
Colorado did.
It has.
They're not going to give a shit about the boats.
Why-
They're going to be high as shit.
Why isn't that
They don't
happening in
care about the
Canada?
boats.
Yeah,
Not
Why
enough
do you think
people.
they're so chill?
we're not enough people in it.
Weed doesn't make people chill. Weed makes people cripplingly paranoid.
What are you
Also,
talking?
the people-
You get
Not
paranoid.
because of
Holy
good
fuck,
stuff.
man! Am I paranoid?
people-
Do I come off as paranoid to you?
Someone told
Me
me you're
too.
paranoid.
Oh, here we
Someone-
go.
What?
Hey,
Okay.
Ollie,
Whatever.
Ollie, it's not us. It's just everybody else in the chat is saying that you should be worried about it.
It's all the people who are
all
lurking in the
happy.
People
shadows.
working for
They're all
the
coming.
Illuminati are saying
They're
The deep
outside
state.
door.
I'm just saying. I buy a pound of pot every 3 months. I'm not paranoid. I
No,
just like
but
my
you
smoke.
do play frisbee golf on your desk. That's,
Well, you know what?
That sounds like
He's
jealousy,
not
Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
He's not killing
So-
people on the street. Yeah?
That's very
he's
true.
playing frisbee
I think
golf
that-
in the safety of his own home with his German Shepherd.
So-
and his
I think
weed. He's
fundamentally
having
the problem
best
is
of his life.
the kind of people that vote reform wouldn't smoke weed even if it was legal.
Yes, they
That's
would.
Oh,
Yes,
they
they
fucking
would.
absolutely
Give them a chance.
Absolutely.
Yo,
But have you
'cause-
seen the reform pub?
No, they
yet?
do. They do.
Look at the people that go to the reform pub. They
No,
are
Actually-
I
all
don't
on
buy that.
weed, bruv.
yeah.
I never tried weed until what was that, January 1st, 2020, when Illinois legalized it. So I waited until it was completely legal in the
People
state,
that have
and
never
then I
even
tried
smoked it
weed.
Are going to smoke it.
Yeah, everyone's
It
gonna at
would be
least
the
try
best thing this
once,
country
and
could
then they're
do.
gonna be like, "Oh, this is what so I don't even drink anymore. My whole vibe is different." And I was already kind of like on the right side of history, but a little high strung. I am way more chill than I used to be. It'll chill them out. They may not smoke, but they'll eat a gummy. I bet you they'll eat a gummy.
And I'll tell
Yeah.
you, we've sent the Labor Party before they got into government sent delegates to America to understand the business. And England is the biggest exporter of weed.
Hey, listen, it did our empire great during
What?
the
I didn't know that.
years that we were selling cocaine to
we have
China.
The most weed,
isn't it?
if I'm not mistaken, we have the most weed farms in Europe.
Yeah, well, it's how we dominated China, isn't it? We got them all high as kites on
Oh wow,
heroin, basically opium.
Yeah, but
Well, we had better ships. That was more to do with it. But yeah, they
but
wouldn't
it-
sell
that's
our.
a-
They wouldn't sell our smack.
It's a serious thing
smacked
I'm
our
saying.
bitches.
Like,
Hang on, we've got a couple of super chats that I have to stop the show for. First of all, Kate Smith, thank you very much for the super chat. Would anyone fly into out of the US now with aviation and border issues? Well, I wouldn't. Anyone here? Anyone
No.
would fly into
No.
out of America?
Not unless
No.
not
I was
unless
pretty
it's a death.
hesitant to enter America before all this happened.
Quite a
so,
clever game that Trump is playing to put the entire population of America under house arrest. But there you go. No one wants to protest. No one wants to leave. And Super Tansky, whoever that is, hello. She says, "What a sausage
Never heard of her.
fest! Ban men with mics. Discuss." See, because we got
Never heard
Mikey
of her.
and Mike.
I don't know. who
I'm
she
a
is.
man and I've got my
In-
mics.
Never heard of
they
her.
can come in if they want.
Yeah, Tansky, come
sorry,
in.
Graham.
Come in. She says she's on the sofa with a hot water bottle. What?
A lady's allowed to comment nowadays on
Yeah.
the show. I didn't realise.
She's a nobody.
This is a
Remarkable.
very progressive channel.
Wow.
Yes. One day we're thinking of allowing a gay person to be on here and possibly, someone who's not white.
Where?
I don't have
Where's
to
the gay
acknowledge
person?
I don't have to acknowledge what Tansky said because she can say it to my face.
Ooh. Well, she says she's on the sofa with a hot water bottle, so you know, fuck off.
Bless her.
P.S. Weed rules, so she's on the weed side of things.
Yeah,
Can I just say that earlier on, Scott Supetansky said it doesn't matter what reform does; they'll face no scrutiny at all. Do any bad, they'll blame Labour. Do well, they'll take the credit. And I think that is what they're going to do in these councils.
She's not 100% wrong. Yeah,
Anne Phillips says woke madness, and Supetansky says microphones really loud. Should we ban men with microphones?
No, I don't even know who she is, so fuck her.
Ah, Scott, how dare you? How dare you deny the superness of Supetansky?
I gotta have something green in here.
I don't know why my microphone has got to be banned. What did I do?
But Tan saying she can't deal with all the men tonight. I feel like that. I can't deal with them either, mate. They're fucking.
How do you think I feel?
Knobheads who just want to smoke weed and do scones wrong.
Yeah,
scones. I am not that guy, Graham. So
you still never answered me about the peanut butter on scones. Is that something you do?
No.
This is why we sent you people to Canada, Ollie.
What? Yeah, you men with mics.
What has that scone ever done to you? Why has Mikey got a square of invisibility?
I don't have a mic.
His mic up. Look.
What mic?
Oh, he's covered his mic. Oh, very
I don't know what you're talking
like
about.
Green Trapper Keeper.
I don't know what do you? This is my shirt always looks like this.
He has a green Trapper Keeper.
Tan's talking about the audacity. She's saying she's calling us out for our audacity now.
That's me.
Super chat.
Jane Away, thank you very much, Jane Away, for sending love to Tan. Happy Men's Night. Thanks, Jane Away.
I think in honor of Supetansky, I think the five of us should have a discussion about women's issues.
Okay.
For about an hour or so, and let's just explore all of the nuances of the problems facing women. And then once we've
Here's a
solved
problem
them
facing women. Sorry to bring down the tone of the conversation, but there's literally a woman in America who's being kept alive. She's actually brain dead, and she's being kept alive because there's a baby inside her.
So crazy.
Which is actually a plot out of season 3 of The Handmaid's Tale.
Insane.
Because it's illegal to abort the baby.
Yes. So they have to keep her alive. Well, she's not alive. She's brain dead. They're going to keep her alive for the next few weeks until they can cut the baby out of her if it's still viable. Nobody knows. And and her parents, her family are having to pay for the specialist care in the intensive care unit.
That's such bullshit.
Because the government won't pay it.
If the government want to ban it, they should pay for it.
It's about
if they want that baby so bad, they should pay for it.
It's about $5,000 a day.
Ridiculous.
Tansky's saying jail men at birth.
I think somebody's hacked Supetansky's account. She's so nice and polite to us in the chat normally.
She just say men are silly. She says men are silly, which is true. I mean, they are.
I agree, we're silly, but jail us at birth? Come on, hell.
Well, yeah, then you haven't got to prove your worth to get out.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
some of us will get out a lot easier than others, and I think
once a month you're handed a small baked good, and you're asked to A, pronounce it properly, and B, put jam and cream on it properly, and then you're allowed out into
cream and jam. You mean
right? Question about the baked good. Was it made with THC marijuana butter or not? Then I don't want it.
I don't want it. Spoken like a true stoner.
Then casually
back in your cell, Ollie.
No, Ollie,
not allowed out for another month.
I think Ollie's like the proper way to prepare that is to lift the lid of the trash can, drop it inside, close the lid of the trash can.
Yeah, and I will make my own scones with my own special butter.
Scones.
I've always wanted
scones. Jesus.
Then why is there
as your question earlier,
brownies.
Scott? I like it when people go in a funny way. I've got to say, I hope that I go. You know, when the day comes for me, I hope it's really funny, and I hope people make jokes about it because it's fucking hilarious. Yeah. Because I mean, you know, it's a sad time, isn't it?
I want to go to my sleep.
Bit of levity. That's not funny. It's funny, like the
Scary.
joke
No,
about.
I don't want it to be funny.
I
Just
want to go
peacefully.
like my granddad in my sleep, not kicking and screaming like his
But
passengers.
it's really weird because you know, like on TikTok, you get these like sort of death influencers who talk to you and guide you through the steps of death. And,
No,
how
no,
it's a
I
whole
don't
medical
watch that,
process.
Scott. Why are you watching that, Scott? That is not good for your mental health. Why are you watching?
No, it
Death
is very
in
good.
movies.
It's,
Goth guys.
it is
I don't
good
know
for
if
your
you
mental
remember,
health.
I'm a goth.
Oh.
So yeah,
It is good for your mental health.
Mind you know what is really good for my mental health? I am on Evil Queen of Disneyland TikTok. She is a savage, shady bitch, and I live for every second of it.
Oh, excellent. We need to check that out. By the way,
Yeah.
Jasmo66 has just dropped £5 into the super chat pile. Thank you very much for that.
Lamb.
Jasmo66. Are the rumors of Trump being impeached true? Probably not.
No.
What?
No.
So here's
I see all kinds of channels online saying that.
Unfortunately.
So here's the thing about that. It's gonna seem like a hoax if and when it happens. So with all of these, outright refusals to do anything that makes any goddamn sense, he is losing that MAGA base. That MAGA, they're not afraid of Elon anymore. It is starting to splinter. The beams are starting to groan and creak. So the further and faster he tries to shove all of this shit down America's throat, the worse it is for him. So
They voted against
it up,
his budget
stupid.
today, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
So they voted
but
his own team
Graham
voted
says,
against his
it's-
budget today.
But as Graham says, it's the people that want it to be more austerity.
Yeah.
well that's an
more
easy
cuts.
that's an easy way of saying that it's not far enough. That's why I'm not voting. This is politics. These aren't honest. You're not getting an honest answer about why they're doing things. They know damn well that they cannot.
That's why they're doing it.
They know damn well they can't cut Medicaid, which is going to affect 80% of their constituents, and be able to go back to their fucking city. Like, they know that. That's why. So whether or not it's for good or for ill, they didn't do it. And Trump's not going to forgive that. So this will be fun.
Did you see, slightly related to that, did you see that Musk is being sued in a class action by the people that were offered $100 to vote on that? I think it was in Austin, because he has not paid them out. He's not paid them the $100, and
Of course he's paying.
No,
He's been hanging out with Trump. Of course he's not paying.
Yeah,
The the election PAC sued over alleged failure to pay $100 to petition signers. Of course, he was never going to pay him.
There was someone shouting in the chat about the 7 articles. Yeah, there was 7 impeachment articles by a Democrat from Michigan or somewhere.
Yeah,
that was 2 weeks ago. It's not going to go anywhere because you need a majority of voters in the
but they've
House of
also laid
Representatives.
down their attitude to impeachment, which is to just ignore it.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean a thing.
They don't care. It doesn't mean
basically.
anything. It's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, when he controls the Senate, he'll never go. Because unless the Senate is democratically run, which it hasn't been for a very long time, they'll never run him out.
Wait till that Medicaid get cut. It's gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be a whole different thing.
I hope the midterms do it. But
do you know why? I don't think people are gonna. I mean, I might be wrong.
I
I hope I'm wrong. I don't think people are gonna change their minds, even when they're dying. I think it's gonna be like Reverend Jim Jones writ large, and they're gonna be like, "Look at me, Donnie. It's all for you, Donnie," as their child slips away in their arms. Honestly, the Trump MAGA lunatics out there are just off the fucking charts. There's no hope for them. It's a cult. It's a cult. Yeah.
I agree.
As is reform, according to Rupert Lowe.
Yes. Well, reform's quite similar, actually. Charismatic figure who, in another walk of life, would be a preacher who would go around with his flock and tell them to give him all his money until he got sick of them and he'll get them all.
Speaking of money, Shane K with the 2 English pound super chat dollars. Please send raccoons and opossums to the UK. In a box? In a bag? Blended? Pellets? How would you like your raccoons and opossums? Y'all don't have opossums?
No.
We don't have opossums, no.
But you do have raccoons?
Yes.
No.
No?
We don't have raccoons here.
No, we don't have raccoons.
Oh,
Have you seen one?
Yeah, of course.
yes.
Been to a zoo.
We have zoos.
You have them at the zoo? That's funny that raccoons are at the zoo. Yeah.
So
they're at the zoo for us too, but they're usually like in the dumpsters. Like, ha!
Would you like
a
to know,
funnel cake?
Would you like to know something interesting about opossums?
Yes, please, Graham.
They're marsupials.
They're the only North American marsupial.
They are indigenous to North America, or the Western Hemisphere, actually. And they reckon that marsupials started in South America, and they got to Australia via Antarctica when it was all a big blob, a big continent together.
Pangea.
Yes.
Was that Ice Age 4?
It was Ice Age 4. It was with Sid the Sloth.
I saw that one. Shane K says, it's possums. The O is silent. I know, but opossums is funnier. And I am not a serious person today.
But they do have possums in Australia, which are different from opossums.
That's true.
Yeah, they're not as cute as ours.
Hey, talking of which, he won't be watching, but can I wish my brother good luck? He's in Australia at the moment running an ultra marathon.
Oh, wow.
The Blue Mountains. He started about an hour and a half ago, and I'm tracking him on a map at the moment.
Brilliant.
I hope he
Good
does
stuff.
well.
Where is he? Whereabouts is he? Blue Mountains. Is that Victoria?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell him to say hi to Mandy.
A big thank you to Alistair Care for 5 network gifted memberships. So thank you so welcome Kate, Dave W, Miss Non Sequitur, and Helen Wilkes. Oh, and Politics Social.
Am I a member of your channel now? Cool.
You are.
Again.
You can watch our hilarious members only video of us reading the comment section.
Cool. I've always wanted to be a massive member. Alistair, thank you very much on our channel as well for the super chat. Scones and biscuits, which is better? Would you go do scones and gravy or biscuits with cream and jam? Debate. Go.
Oh,
American biscuits are better. You're welcome.
No, the best biscuits are British biscuits.
Graham, you're out of your league, dude. American Southern soul food biscuits are better.
They're for gravy. It's like a
you don't need nothing. You could put a little honey on there. Or a little bit of butter
on it.
That's all you need. It's better than
Scott,
what you got cooking over there.
You think that a Southern biscuit in America is nicer than a McVitie's biscuit over here? A hobnob?
Yeah, but they're not the same thing.
Hobnob.
Not even close.
No chocolate digestive.
A biscuit in America is pretty much exactly the same recipe as a
The reason why Americans are so angry all the time and upset, and why they go around shooting each other and invading countries, is because they don't have biscuits.
They have cookies.
All Americans.
Yeah. They don't have biscuits.
Are you saying we have a lack of snacks over here? Are you crazy?
No. You don't have
quality
biscuits.
Quality snacks.
You got terrible snacks that are junk food.
We're in the land of Nabisco. Are you crazy?
Is a digestive that has to have a little thing on it that says does not aid with digestion, which I think is just fucking hilarious.
No, we don't need none of your health pellets. We got snacks over here.
They're not.
You know what I mean?
No, our food's definitely not healthy.
Your little gerbil pellets that y'all like to give y'all children. We give them pure, unadulterated, high fructose corn syrup in several different forms. We just use it to make several products and then just fuse it in the one and then shove it into the kid's face at age 1.
So America has found 55 different words for sugar and put them all on the ingredients pack of everything they cook.
Josh says all this biscuit talk has got my dog excited. Nice one. And then
why is your dog watching YouTube? What's going on?
And Jasmo66 says American biscuits are the same as our scones. They are very similar, actually. But scones tend to be a bit higher. Like the biscuits are this bit thick, and I don't know.
Mikey, I've got a question for you. The cats and dogs, we've been worried about them now for about 6 months, but the whole story seems to have gone away. Are people still eating them? Did Trump fix that problem?
They're eating dogs.
Yeah, I never repeated the racist lie like that. Like that was the equivalent of like him saying like an Asian person eats dog. You know what I mean? So like I never repeated that because that's all it was. You know what I mean? It was never a thing. It was just him making a racist remark about a group of people.
Dogs.
Like it was
it's a remarkable thing because for at least a month it was the top story, wasn't it? It was the thing that everybody
because racist people like racist headlines, and then they just ran with it. and to the failure of several thousands of people, the mainstream media picked it up and just went with the racist framing and just kept repeating it over and over and over again, as if because that's the point about a slur, right? It doesn't matter if it's true or not. The point is that people keep saying it, so that there's the word association. When people hear Haitians in Ohio, that's what they go to automatically, as opposed to the fact that all of the business owners over there were glad that the Haitians showed up because the methed out Americans weren't showing up to work on time. But they don't talk about it that way. Or the fentanyl pilled up Americans wouldn't show up for work, but the Haitians would.
Yeah. And to me, I absolutely buy into that side. But the other thing is just how the media managed to amplify stories like that, make them important, and then the voters don't give a shit 4 months later. Like no Republican MAGA voter is finding out whether Trump and Vance fixed this imaginary problem that they created for themselves. They don't care.
Well, they did fix the problem because they took away the TPS for everybody all over the place. So the Afghanis, the Ukrainians, any Palestinians, all those people got their temporary protected status taken away. Or they're in the courts right now. He's trying to get rid of every single, because that's why they were there. Because Haiti is in a complete free fall, and these people escaped, came to America on temporary protected status, and he's like, I'll just undercut it that way. And then, what's that? Zelensky's not doing things the way I like them. All the Ukrainians, all the Ukrainians. Chicago in particular got 30,000 Ukrainians when the war started. No one said a word, but then we started taking migrants that Scott Abbott was busing up here from the border in Texas, and then everybody and their mama went crazy about these brown people coming up here. But when it was white people, they were allowed to. They didn't. No one said a word about the white people coming in from Eastern Europe.
And now from South Africa.
He's about to take y'all farms.
There was Mikey. It was literally a government initiative here to house Ukrainian people in your home.
Well, that's because they were young women with children, and the Tories were quite happy to take in effectively au pairs from Ukraine. That's what they ended up doing.
It was
Thanks, Shane, for the $1 super chat. Thank you.
Shocking.
Just on that, and this is me conspiracy theorizing.
Some of the weird.
The arsonist attacks on Keir Starmer's properties turned out to have somebody's been arrested for that, and is a Ukrainian national. And the tin hat flashing lights trigger went off in me today when I heard that story, and I'm thinking that's a Russian paid guy, isn't it? Because there were a bunch of stories last year about arson attacks all over South London that were being done by Ukrainians. So I'm just wondering if that's, is this part of Russian propaganda to pay some Ukrainian to do this, to make Britain turn against Ukraine? That's my theory. Because I can't, for the life of me, work out why a Ukrainian would be so upset with Keir Starmer that he wants to go and set fire to his house. This country's been pretty good towards Ukraine. I can't think of the reasons why you would be so upset with the Prime Minister you'd want to kill him.
But also people are nutters. Yeah.
Money. Well, that's true.
People aren't right in the head.
Well, yeah, it's
money can buy anything.
This thing about white South Africans being invited over, Trump has told everyone that America's closed to any kind of asylum seeker or refugee, except for white South Africans. And they looked up the stats.
They need our help.
5,000 people have been killed murdered in South Africa, and one of them was a farmer. We don't even know if they were black or white.
They're under attack.
One of them was a farmer.
Did you see what Grok was doing on this subject? For about the last week, if you go on, if you ask Grok anything on Twitter, it effectively gives an answer. It will say, you can say, what's the batting average of X or Y baseball player? And it will come back and say it's 85. And also in South Africa, white genocide is a term that's being used. And the best, it goes into this sentence talking about a song that's being sung by people trying to kill white farmers in South Africa, but the courts are challenging this. And actually, Grok is constantly fighting Musk, I think, because it's giving truthful answers and saying this is a conspiracy theory. There is no evidence to support it. But it's blatantly it's being forced by Musk to give to spread a story about white genocide in South Africa.
Yeah.
It
doesn't help that Julius
Malema
background. It doesn't help that Julius Malema does still sing the song from the apartheid days, which starts off kill the boar, kill the farmer.
Yep.
Malema is he's a bit of a loose cannon, and he gives a lot of mileage to the racists in South Africa who say, "Oh, these people they just want to kill us all," and he's there singing fucking let's kill them all. And I'm like, but he's the only serious kind of opposition to the ANC over there, and they could do with some more normal opposition. And I wish the ANC was split in two and have a left wing and a right wing, or centralist wing. Or something.
I'm quite frankly, I'm glad that they're bringing the South Africans over here to get these racist white people off of these farms, because Trump's because this is all by Elon and Trump's design. They got they got another tariff war started. So now these farmers are going to lose this crop, and they're going to lose their shit. And they already just made them pay back the loans for all the upgrades they just did. So they got all this debt, and they really need this crop. And then Trump's fucking everything up. So it's going to fuck that up for them. And then they're going to lose their farm. And guess who's going to take your farm?
Rich foreigners.
Yeah. Well, they don't even have to be rich, because Elon can just front them. You know what I mean? He can just, as long as they're part of like the apartheid is cool with us club from South Africa, he'll just fund them to get over here. And then they can get a fresh start on you racist white motherfuckers' land. Enjoy. You're about to get colonized.
Yeah.
By South Africans.
I know what it feels like, yeah.
Staring into eternity, saying Grok has disagreed with Musk on a few things, including supporting trans rights. Grok has also said that Jesus was left-wing. Grok,
essentially, AI... Grok is turning out to be like one of his kids.
Jesus didn't play left-wing. He was a center.
There was a story I was reading.
I thought it was a sweeper.
One of the server farms that his AI uses, and they have these disgusting, like really filthy, I think it was gas turbines that run 24 hours a day, and they're just destroying the environment in the local area. I think it's Mississippi.
Memphis,
Tennessee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And kids are getting ill from the
fumes.
Just the whole thing, everything about Musk is just fucking disgusting. I just really, really want him to stop. I mean, that's why I liked Andor so much, because it was kind of like wish fulfillment, because the things that I wanted to happen to the baddies fucking happened to the baddies.
He's like, I can't believe they put a couple of bullet holes and burned 10 cars. Oh, you're gonna poison a neighborhood? All right, buddy. Good luck. I get that these people have these villainous plans, but as always, they have to enact them.
Yeah.
And as lazy and ignorant as Americans might be, they're also petty and proud. So, all right, keep fucking up. Keep stepping on the wrong wire there. And you're gonna touch something that you shouldn't have touched. Yeah. You bring in them South Africans and let them establish anything or make too much noise, and those Southern white folks will turn on them. They do. Where's Vivek? Anybody seen Vivek Ramaswamy?
Nope.
How about Nikki Haley? How about anybody of color? Kash Patel has to keep his head lowered at all. Kash Patel has to keep his head lowered at all times when he's speaking to white people. You can't even look up and talk to him.
God, when he was talking,
Kash Patel's about to lose his job because he can't get a budget.
Yeah, when he was talking in Congress, who has been asked questions, and he just looked like a naughty school child who hadn't done his.
He doesn't know anything. I'll look into that. I'll look into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was his answer to every question. I'll get back to you on that. I'll look into that. We hope to have that sometime soon.
I'll give you a written answer later.
Yeah.
They've all spent the budgets, haven't they, in the first couple of weeks?
Yeah.
They've got no money left now. And they're not supposed to do that. No,
there's no money left.
But what happens to them? Do they can they like get arrested for that? For like contempt of
nothing happens.
Congress or something? Isn't that a thing?
Doesn't matter.
Well, they're not going to get any more funds. So this is the problem with Chuck. This is the problem with what Chuck Schumer did, is because if you don't shut down the government like we all fucking told you to, they do this. They blow all the money, and then the government shuts down anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you should have shut it off to wake the American people up, to let them know that
this is the Democrats, couldn't they?
For what?
For shutting down the government. They said,
why did we shut? Why did they? And then that's the conversation. Why did the Democrats shut down the government? Because they're trying to steal all your shit. So we turned everything off.
Yeah, but the Trump lot won't believe that, will they? Well, surely leaving it so they actually spend all the money, so they've got no one else to blame, is a better play, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, we didn't want all the budget to be blown. You know what I mean? Like, there should be, like, some of that money needs to go. That money needs to be spent where it needs to be spent. So they're not spending it where it needs to be spent.
So if you're working for the government, for the FBI, and Kash Patel spent all your money, so there's no money for wages anymore. So you lose your job because of Kash Patel spending all the money on gold-plated fucking wheelie bins. Can you sue Kash Patel because you've lost your job because they've got no money to pay you? So could there be
and a lot of that is unionized
lawsuits going in?
Yeah, and a lot of these workers are unionized.
Oh.
So that's why half of this shit, like a lot of those firings, these people are in a fucking union. You can't just fire somebody in a fucking union. It takes weeks, months. It takes write-ups. There's an escalation tree. We have workers' rights over here. They're in the U.S. government. You can't just fire them on a whim. You have to give them a written warning. Then you have to have a sit-down talk. You have to all this stuff. Or you have to have some legislation from Congress, which he did not have.
But if there's no money, then they can't pay them. So it's not a case of them being sad.
Well, no, then we go into more debt.
Yes, but that's
then they start and that yeah.
They'll stop paying them in world liberty bitcoins, won't they? Because they're
Melania coin.
Yeah,
Baron coins coming out. We'll get you in on the ground level instead of
the UAE thing. That's a huge story, and it's going to be difficult to talk about because it is complex. But they set up the World Liberty Bank or something like that, the World Liberty coin, and they're able to produce coins. The company is based in UAE, but because Trump is in charge of everything in America at the moment, he's actually trying to make it legal currency. They're trying to make it a legal currency in the USA, so it will have the protection of the law and be regulated. It was set up in the UAE because the UAE government put $2 billion. They brought the first $2 billion of coins off him last week, just before he turned up. It's like the levels of corruption are so weird. But the problem is that when you're dealing with crypto, most people don't really understand what the hell crypto is and how it works in any way, shape, or form. So it all feels like funny money to them, but it is direct bribery.
Yes,
it's as simple as that.
Well, that's what I'm saying about P. Diddy. Even if he does get done for his crimes, he's very, very rich, and he can just bribe the president of the United States to give him a pardon because he's getting done on a federal level. It's not a state level, so Trump can pardon him, and he probably fucking will because he'll bribe him with a gold-plated fucking Learjet or something.
He doesn't have anything. The government already has all of his shit. He doesn't have any bargaining chips. They already confiscated everything. If you're, you know what I mean? If you're part of a criminal enterprise, that's all theirs anyway. They stole all that shit. Half of the crypto they have right now is confiscated crypto. So they're finding out who has a lot of crypto, finding out who has any kind of petty crime, and then they're possessing all of their shit because it's a mob. Shane K has a £2 English super chat. Did anyone see the debate between Cedar and Ezra? I did not see that, but I see it here. I'm going to watch it right after this. I don't know how I feel about Ezra Klein and this abundance bullshit that they're trying to, like the Democrats. The way forward is to just, why don't you be the ones to unleash all of the regulations and really get business started here in America again. And it's like, so you just want to be the ones on the grift so that so that corporate America can just take over whatever is left of the country. No, a big no. No thanks. That's a no from this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if, because so much of your guys' stuff is socialized. Like, I don't even know how that would, like, it would be worse than like the NHS. It would be like your NHS and the housing and transportation and all of that stuff just going up to individual companies, and then after the conglomerates get formed and then having to deal with all, like, it's horrible. Like, this later stage of capitalism that we're going through is no fun when there's like 6 companies that own the entire nation.
And make no mistake, a lot of ours has gone that way. The NHS is pretty much the only thing that's still safe from that at the moment in this country.
We're in a mad situation at the moment, Mikey. This is like something that you'd expect to happen in America, where there's a massive company that runs all the water in the south of England called the Thames Water. And they have a monopoly. You don't have any choice. You want water. If you want to flush your shit away somewhere, you have to pay Thames Water for the privilege. And they are staving off bankruptcy and renationalisation by a £3 billion loan that's been levied by the government. So we're basically backing it as taxpayers. And the first thing they did was they wanted to give their executives big bonuses with the money.
Yeah.
With the money that we gave.
And this is about Labour and their comms, right? Because one of the first things they did was give Ofwat the power to prevent that from happening, and to in fact fine the individuals and imprison the individuals if they cause poisoning, etc. They changed the law to mean that executives for water companies were finally able to be directly taken to court for anything that they did. And we're about to hit that phase where the bonuses are due, and essentially Ofwat have said anyone that gets a bonus in a company that is losing money or not providing the services that it should will not get those bonuses, and they'll be fined if they do it. It's a good story. We are literally saying these people can't get away with this anymore, and they're personally liable for it now.
Yeah.
But it won't play out in the press because, you know, it's what everyone's been screaming for. Somebody digs in and actually does the work, changes the law, and Labour aren't going to do enough to make, because Keir Starmer will be in fucking Albania with GB News talking racist nonsense and being turned down by the Prime Minister of Albania to start a bloody concentration camp.
It's great, isn't it?
I mean, I don't get me ranting on this, right? But he flew to Albania with one journalist on the plane, and it was a journalist from GB News.
Yep.
That's terrible.
And the only reason we know this is Channel 4 sent a journalist to the airport to ask why.
Mike, listen,
Unbelievable.
he has played an absolute blinder on this, because the stats came out today from YouGov, and it's shown that he had just 4% of refuck voters approved of Keir Starmer. And in the last month, after all he's done to demonise the homeless, the disabled, trans people, immigrants, he's now down to 2%.
It's ludicrous. It's just ludicrous.
Well done, Keir. Well done, dickhead.
And it's not only that, it's the you know, how can you go to Albania to do a Rwanda deal effectively? Take GB News to showcase it to the racists and say, look what we're doing. We're setting up concentration camps. And they hadn't done the diplomatic work to actually make sure that they could do this. And then in a live press conference, the Prime Minister of Albania
absolutely massive.
No, we're not going to do that.
Minister. Have you seen the size of him? He's like the fucking mountain from Game of Thrones. Keir Starmer's like this big. He looks like little fucking Peter Pocket. It looks like you put him in his pocket. Tom Thumb.
Unbelievable.
But yes, it's just a weird time to be alive, isn't it? Where's all the goodwill gone? How do you evaporate that much goodwill towards Labour and the you know, Starmer and everything? He is now officially more unpopular than Corbyn was in 2019, when Corbyn was at his height of his unpopularity. Like,
I don't understand why the left refuses to wield power once they get it.
Yeah.
Why do they have to win something and then sit on their hands and act like they're gonna, get a detention if they actually try to do something for people?
Whereas the right don't give a fuck and just do what they want to do.
The Republicans, when they get in, they change the voting laws more in their favor. The Democrats, every time they get in, they don't.
They just
do the tax cut straight away.
Leave it alone.
It's like when they've got political capital, the Republicans do the tax cut, and when we've got political capital, we literally hit the poor basically and start austerity.
No, they start cutting things to take care of the cuts that the Republicans. It's like you're just servicing what they did as opposed to fixing what the mistake that they've made.
We're essentially more effective Tories at the moment. That's what this government is.
Yeah, you're just being they're
competent Tories, basically.
Doing the work for them instead of doing the work of the people.
When you got all that political capital in July and everybody hated the Tories, they literally should have just come in and done something to the rich. They just should have said there is a new rate of tax. It's 75%, and we know half the billionaires in this country are going to leave. Fuck off. We don't want you if you don't want to pay for this country, basically. And they should have just done it and then ride out the next 4 years of the press having a go at them, because the press are having a go at them anyway. It's just, it was always going to happen.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs. Like, I'm really, really pissed off at Labour. I'm beyond livid with them. I think they've absolutely screwed the pooch on this in every way they can. And it's...
I watched your show with Phil today.
Get back on their feet. What do you think? Do you think that Labour are going to win the next election? Because I fucking don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want them to, but I don't think they're going to manage it. I think the only thing really
is very adamant that they're going to win and it's nothing to worry about. And I'm like,
no, I thought you had an interesting debate. I thought it was interesting. You and Phil at the moment, there is some shallow red water between you, I think, nowadays, basically. But
I mean,
in essence, I think that there isn't a strong left-wing movement to challenge. I think only the Green Party, if the Green Party reinvents itself in this sort of green populism route, then it might destroy Labour's core vote.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way they could lose, because I genuinely think they're going to have to shift around and let the Tories and Reform fight themselves to death in the next 3 years. They should just be standing back and letting that happen.
Janeway is saying, we're trying nothing and nothing's working.
That's true.
It really is. But like, no, Labour are trying to do stuff, but they're just trying to do the wrong things. Why are they trying to appeal to people who wouldn't piss on them if they were on fire? They're trying to appeal to lifelong Labour haters. People who go on at length about how much they hate Labour and how much Labour let everyone in, they do all this bad stuff. It's like, why are you trying to pander to them? And at the same time, they are pissing off all of their activists, all of the people who knocked on doors for them in the last election are now fucking livid. Yep. I'm in a group. I'm in a Durham group of Labour activists, and everyone in the group is fucked off with what the people at the top are doing.
Same here. But the problem is they're not going to lose that core vote, and Phil's quite right about that. Labour activists will still vote Labour or not vote, and that's a danger.
It's not voting, that's the problem.
Yeah, but I've said this over and over again. Lewis Goodall was saying it as well on air today, which was reassuring, that traditionally the Labour Party they're very conservative. They're not. It's only Tony Blair's government that was a progressive Labour government. Most of the other Labour governments we've had and opposition Labour governments have not been that way. That's what you and Phil were talking about as well today. And Lewis Goodall was saying today that the problem with Keir Starmer is that he doesn't really have an ideology. He's quite lightweight when it comes to having firm ideology, other than the rule of law. He was talking about the Chagos Islands and saying that, well, of course he went with international law. And it's also why he will defend the ECHR, because it's a legal thing, and as far as he sees it, that's something worth defending. But in terms of where he sits on whether people should be warm in the winter if they've got no money, basically, that's a practical economic problem for Rachel Reeves to solve. There's no heartfelt politics in any of this, and he can switch and change. Lewis Goodall said, John Sopel said in the newsagents today, if it were Boris Johnson, you would just constantly be calling him out as a liar, because 6 months ago he said this and now he's saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
it's only because he's got this veil of competence, basically.
Did you
no
see
charisma.
his response to Liz Saville Roberts from Plaid Cymru when she stood up and said in Prime Minister's questions, she called him out about the fact that when he was going for leader, he said that he wanted to help immigrants, and he's gone from that to Island of Strangers. And his response to her was just so rude and absolutely out of order.
Something like, I wouldn't have to listen to your stupid comments or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was really fucking rude. It was beneath him. And it was the kind of response that you would get from Boris Johnson. And I was sitting there thinking, fucking hell. You know, as far as I can say, you know, I'm not particularly, I was never enamored with Starmer. He was a useful tool to get into power. Now they're in power, fucking awesome, brilliant, whatever. But like, I wasn't thinking that we needed to get rid of Starmer before the next election. I'm changing my mind on that very rapidly now. I think he's becoming a toxic asset to the Labour Party.
Well, and
really,
I think the other thing is, that's the other thing that he was being described as today, which is that he doesn't actually do politics. He's not really a politics person. He's more of a governing person. And I think this is about, oh God, what's the name of his advisor? It's completely slipped my mind.
Jeremy.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Morgan.
Morgan, yeah. So I think it's about that, because I think the reason he attacks the Greens, Reform and the Conservatives is Morgan shows him the polling, basically, and says the Greens are a threat to you as well. And he's actually okay with the Lib Dems because he did a deal with the Lib Dems at the last election and it suits him. I mean, when he replies to Ed Davey, I think it's a fair political exchange most of the time. I think Keir still isn't generous enough in that relationship. But with the Greens, he's been told these are also your enemy and you need to just belittle them in Parliament. He's doing this, he uses the same tactic. And it's because he's being told to do that. And I'm not saying that absolves him of anything. It actually makes him an incredibly weak person, I think. He's not, you know, if he's going to do proper politics, then he should do it. And he should do it with Kemi as well.
He said to Liz Saville Roberts, "You're talking rubbish." Ernie Burns is saying Oscar would be proud. Oscar Wilde would be proud.
Oscar the Grouch?
No, Oscar Wilde. Not Oscar the Grouch. Although Oscar the Grouch
has been sacked, hasn't he?
He's going to find a new bin to live in now, isn't he?
Doged.
He's been doged.
Who has?
Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street. We were talking about this last week. He's cut from the.
They're not on PBS anymore. They haven't been on PBS for a while.
All right. Are they going to still keep going then?
They've been on HBO this whole time.
Oh, cool. Janeway says the trouble is if Starmer goes, we get Streeting. I don't think Streeting will be leader of Labour. I'll be.
Oh, he's like 10 times more toxic than Keir Starmer.
Oh God, he is. Everyone hates him. He's just a very.
This is another thing that
he's such a self-loathing fucking homosexual.
It's
another thing that came up on the newsagents podcast today, which was who would be if Keir Starmer fell under a bus, who would be the next leader.
Yeah.
And what they were saying is that if you looked at it from a media perspective, the media, you know, who in the cabinet is getting exposure on TV, who's the favoured cabinet member, and it's Wes Streeting.
Darren Jones, is it? In the Treasury Department,
he's primarily Wes Streeting is getting the sort of question time stuff, isn't he, in the main interviews? And they said he's the most popular in terms of a media invite. But if you go and look at Labour polling amongst Labour members, he's down at something like 26.
Yeah, because we hate him.
He's not popular within the Labour Party.
Fucking gobshite. Yeah, and then in the chat, so I was going to read something there. Oh yeah, for some struck. I completely agree with this. Maybe we were watching at the same time if you were watching on Wednesday. What disgusted me even more about Starmer's reply to Saville Roberts was Rachel Reeves' pathetic, over-the-top laughter in response to it. That fucked me off as well. And I noticed Angela Rayner didn't laugh.
No.
Angela Rayner was just a little bit... You could see her sort of sinking down into her seat, going, are we going there? Yeah. Trump Bear's going to be hosting Sesame Street now. But yeah.
So, Mikey, I genuinely didn't know Sesame Street wasn't PBS funded anymore. That's a good thing, I guess. If HBO,
they went to HBO like 10 years ago.
Oh wow!
Okay. It was before the pandemic. So it's been many years.
Same channel that's got like I don't know The Sopranos and Game of Thrones to watch Sesame Street. Does it just play afterwards? It just go straight from.
Well, usually when like I let my child when I let my child watch Sesame Street, I just give her the remote, and I'm like, only watch Sesame. Think about it, man. Think about it. The kids, I don't trust her with a spoon. I'm definitely not giving her the remote. She is dangerous. Untrustworthy.
I'm gonna chip off. I think I'm tired.
Yeah, it's coming up to the witching hour, so I think we're gonna wrap up very soon.
Is it,
Scott? Yeah, it's 12 minutes.
And can I just say what a pro Graham is, because I know you're not feeling very well at all.
I've got a cranking headache.
Yeah,
Cat gave me a couple of pills when I started, but it's not great. It's not great. Graham, tell everyone about next weekend, says Super Tansky. Oh yes, next weekend we are going to do a Friday Night Social IRL. So if you can get your ass down to Bristol, we'll be taking over the upstairs of a pub, I believe.
Bristol?
Sorry, Brighton. I told you it's late.
Wow.
We're going to be in Bristol. No, Brighton.
Tim on the,
fucking done it again.
He's got Tim on the brain.
Do you want to do this for me, Mike?
Okay. Yep.
Assuming Graham has booked the right train tickets, we're going to be in Brighton next Friday night, and in a pub yet to be identified. Because if enough of you tell us that you're coming, then I can get a big room in a pub.
Well, Josh
says in the bar.
Josh says he can find somewhere where we can go upstairs, and there's a little pub or something, and we can just go upstairs.
Josh is picking that one up.
That's great. No, I am as well. he knows Bristol better than I do.
Yeah, there's a nice little pub in Bristol on the
Brighton.
That'll be
Brighton.
Great.
So next week I'm going to be in Brighton, meeting up with Mike. Super Tansky will be there, and we also have Josh and Scott. You're coming down, aren't you, Scott?
Possibly.
I hope so, Scott.
I need to check the funding.
Come down. So we'll be there on the Friday night, and it should be a good old fashioned laugh. And we'll have some drinks and talk a load of shit, which is what we do on this channel. Talk a load of shit about politics. But Scott, before you go, did you have a story of the week that you wanted to talk about, or have you?
I think we covered. Excuse me, we covered the sort of Trump stuff, which I was going to talk about the jet and all of that, So we did that to death.
Fair enough. All right, that's all good. So, thanks, Scott. We'll let you get off if you want to go.
Thank you, guys. It's been wonderful this evening.
Thanks, Scott.
Scott.
Love you.
Thank you. Hope to see you next week.
Scott will be on the BIM Podcast Network on the 27th, I believe.
That's correct. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm looking.
We'll figure something
out.
Bowler Hatman was just on, and he had no idea what we were going to talk about, and he survived.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'll be okay then. All right, guys. I'll speak to you later.
Cheers, Scott.
Bye.
Cheers, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
So since we talked about biscuits before, I know that I've got some chocolate hobnobs and some McVitie's ginger nuts in the other room.
Chocolate hobnobs.
I've got to go.
It sounds made up. It sounds made up.
No, chocolate hobnobs.
Some hobnobs and some gish scallops.
This is why people in America are so angry all the time. This is why they need guns.
Look, guys,
shooting things.
Where are we? Digestive millionaire bars. Can't find my camera.
Oh, that dirty bastard. Oh, yes. Oh,
just telling you, we win on snacks.
They don't sound silly to themselves, Ali, just to us.
Yeah, I know.
A grown man just looked me in the face, say, "Hey, I'm gonna go eat some hobnobs," and I'm supposed to just
Okay, then. you go to Narnia and have your snack.
Like it sounds like it's straight out of that. What was that marketplace that they would go to on Harry Potter?
Diagon Alley.
Diagon Alley, yeah.
Where they would go to like the little sweet shop with the every flavor beans. Some hobnobs is definitely
3 bags of hobnobs, please.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Can I have some licorice hobnobs?
Fucking love hobnobs.
What is it? Describe it as a snack.
It's like a failed Anzac biscuit.
They're just incapable of describing things. They're just incapable.
It's an OT. It's an OT.
Absolutely nothing.
It's an OT biscuit. It's a thick OT biscuit with lots of oats in it. It's crunchy and it's really
like granola.
Fucking awesome. Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
it's like a
slightly
biscuit
finer granola.
made of granola. It is. Fucking.
Do you
awesome.
know if I said like an iced oatmeal cookie? Does that ring any bells for you? Is it similar to that?
Ooh, oatmeal.
Well, again,
cookie.
it sounds as weird
Yes,
to
it does
us
sound like an oatmeal cookie.
as a hobnob.
Because maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe they got like, or is it like a ginger snack
cookie that's dipped in
yes,
chocolate?
I'm looking at an oatmeal cookie, oat crisps. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
but it's
this
different
is too
chocolate.
detailed for
Those
this.
are
Doesn't
elite.
have raisins in it though, because that's weird.
A ginger snap, Mikey, is not a biscuit. Right? It's basically ginger flavored sugar that's bobbled in a flat thing and then rolled up into a roll. It's not.
That sounds
Ginger
really long. Do
nuts
they put that
are
on the shelf at the
biscuits.
store?
Yeah. Ginger
It's a
biscuit is a
all the
different thing
signs
altogether.
lined up, and then there's just that really long one for
That's the
ginger
one.
snaps.
They're good. We also have Jaffa cakes. Do you have Jaffa cakes over there?
Nope.
They're
Yeah.
a biscuit with orange in it.
Yeah,
recently
I have
discovered
had
Orange
that.
in it.
Yeah, it's got that orange, like that chocolate orange flavor thing.
Yeah. Rich
we have
tea. Do you
Terry's
have
chocolate
rich,
oranges.
you have
Do you
rich
have those?
tea. I think you call them. Oh god, what are they called in America?
They're called Be Quiet Zero.
No, they're just like the really cheapest biscuits you can get. Oh, I forgot what they call it. It begins with M. I
Some
think
What
they call them
chocolate
butter
oranges?
biscuits in mantequilla biscuits in Mexico, but I'm not sure what they call them in America. We have
Have you ever seen
Garibaldi's.
Yeah,
Super
Bourbons.
Tansky, by the way, Mikey Super Tansky is saying, I will come on the Bin podcast for the price of a hobnob.
Oh,
Sounds good.
Is that a
Jammy
threat?
Dodgers. Do you have Jammy
It might be.
Dodgers?
Did she just threaten me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you
It's a
threatening me?
classic British threat.
Are you
I am Cornholio.
Tippy for my bungle. Shane, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, my friend. That's very kind of you. Free Palestine, yes, indeed. The shit going down in Israel, Palestine at the moment is fucking disgraceful. Power to the people with Graham Price says, I can't get to Brighton, but if there's ever a meetup in Liverpool, I'd love to go. Yes, there will be in September during the Labour Party conference, which I'm going to go to. Might be the last
have
Labour
malted
Party
milk?
conference that I go to. Well, I'm planning to go and cause some trouble.
I'm going to try and get up for that, definitely.
Are you still a member? Everyone else has left,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
Tansky's left,
I know.
and Phil's left, and One Angry
I know.
Pagan's left. Everyone's left.
I know. But I'm co-chairman of the local ward, and it's a new ward, and we need to make it work before I depart. So. Got to keep
So-
democracy going.
Custard
somewhere.
creams. Do they have custard creams in America?
Custard creams?
Yeah.
Describe the
Sounds
snack
familiar.
because the names are not always going to be
it's like
indicative of what
it's
they
like
are.
a sandwich. It's like a little tiny sandwich with like sweet.
It's like a
buttercream in the
white
middle.
Oreo. Bit like a
Yes.
white Oreo.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it's
A
like
white
So like
angular.
like a sandwich cookie?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
maybe.
that.
So like cookie icing cookie?
What about
Yeah.
nice biscuits or nice biscuits? I never realised what.
Not by that
probably don't
name.
know.
No,
Not by that name
that's
either. yeah.
basically some sugar with a biscuit.
But do you
underneath.
you guys know Oreos, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what our
Oreos.
biscuits taste like when they go off.
Do you
Okay,
know what
okay,
pirate cookies are?
comedian. What about like Chips Ahoy?
No.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, they
Chips
chocolate
Ahoy?
chip cookies. Yeah. We have them.
Yeah.
We have.
Okay.
We call them
Do-
Maryland
do-
cookies over here.
What?
Do you know what pirate cookies are? Have you ever heard of those?
Pirate
Pirate
cookies.
cookies.
No, I like the sound of them.
They're peanut butter cookies.
Oh no, I
Ollie-
don't like the sound of them.
Ollie
Yeah,
is
sounds-
100. He's like mostly
Peanut butter was
peanut butter.
created in Canada. Did you know that?
He's probably 75 to 83% peanut butter as
Fuck
we
you.
speak.
Sounds that way.
Ollie
Sounds that
loves
way.
he puts peanut butter on burgers, all his snacks. His
Not all
dog
my
is
snacks,
running
no.
on mostly peanut butter as we
No.
speak.
No.
Okay, so
That oven back there is for cooking peanut butter, actually.
according to a recent survey, the fifth favourite biscuit in Britain is a chocolate hobnob. The fourth is a Jaffa cake. The third is a chocolate finger. The second, this is very popular with our Scottish viewers, shortbread. Do you have shortbread biscuits?
That's
Oh.
in.
I think so.
I know shortbread cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And number one, the greatest biscuits of all time, the chocolate digestive. Oh yeah, can't go wrong with
Chocolate
it.
digestive.
Yeah.
What's
Probably
wrong?
true.
Why don't y'all call it something less medical?
Digestives, look.
Do you have
Because
vanilla
originally-
pie?
Originally, digestives were sold as a health food.
They
That was
were.
the-
Well, so was Coca-Cola, wasn't it? It was sold as a medicine, cocaine in it.
I'm guessing that y'all's biscuits, digestive biscuits, are leftovers from the war.
No,
You're
getting it mixed
sounds
up
like
with
MRE,
Hershey's chocolates.
You know,
Hershey's
Just
chocolate was just
digestive cookies are like a plain cookie.
You know when they sweep up at the end of the
that's
day in the chocolate factories in the UK, and then they get all the shavings off the floor, and then they put them into a big bag, and they get sent over to America, and that's how you make Hershey's.
Look,
just racist. It's almost racist now.
What's racist? Hershey's tastes like puke.
I don't care that you hate Hershey's, okay? With your haggis eating ass, okay? We all have nasty food. But don't let the nasty food divide us, Graham. We should all make fun of France's food together.
Yeah, but I couldn't live. I could live in France. France has decent cheese. America has no decent cheese and no decent chocolate.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry.
What about your bourbon?
Someone in the chat wanted you to defend Twinkies before, and I was like, well,
no, I will not.
I will.
Oh, here I have a.
The surviving nuclear war.
I used to be in the grocery business, and I was in the grocery business when they said that they were canceling the Twinkie, because let me tell you, having spent 15 years in that industry, no one fucking buys them. Everyone likes the idea of the Twinkie. No one is purchasing fucking. No, we have a bakery right there. They'll get like fresh made donuts or cookies or something like that. No one's going to Twinkies. No one's permanently on a road trip in 1993 where they're going to eat 15 Twinkies. It's fallen out of fashion. It's pure sugar and people don't like it. They want something else. So that's why America, it should have gone.
Did you say that you can bake stuff in America? I didn't think you had the oven.
Yeah. I have a question.
Here we go.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What do you call this?
Looks like a fucked up jammy dodger, maybe? I don't know what's in the middle of it.
That's a bit of raspberry jam.
Raspberry. What's
Dodger?
Is it crunchy?
Jammy Dodger.
No, it's pretty. It's very soft.
Well, our Jammy Dodgers have it's a Jammy Dodger, but our Jammy Dodgers have a heart in the middle because we love them. It's shaped in a heart.
Or it's stolen the heart of a fey creature, and that's what it's put inside of it. Each cookie has killed a fey creature.
Questionable sanity says, thank you very much for the super chat. Biscuits brown are similar to digestives.
That is a raspberry turnover cookie. That's what that's called.
That makes sense.
Turnover makes sense.
Good, Ollie.
Looks good. Looks good.
Eat it in front of me.
Yeah. It's all good.
Go to Ollie's OnlyFans site to watch him eat that.
I think America needs more cookies. But no, I was surprised that you can actually get like decent bread in America, like baked bread, where they actually go to a bakery and there's bread that they've actually baked in the bakery.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. No, we don't have no bakeries. We never even bakery. Oh, okay. What is that? We just eat garbage off the floor. Like, what do you think? So, of course, we have bakeries.
Tiny bimbo loaves that taste like shit and they're full of sugar.
We have small bakeries that are like independents here.
Oh yeah, no, in Canada because you're civilized. Right? I'm talking about America.
Oof.
Listen to this,
Mikey. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait, Mikey. He's got a headache. Bless him.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. He's just taking it out on his favorite whipping boy
in America. I've never seen a bakery in America in real life.
I actually have seen a.
I've seen Subway.
They don't exist.
The bakery.
No,
this is what he does. He just names the wrong
thing.
Dunkin'
Donuts, which exists, but it isn't a bakery.
He's like Trump. He just walks around misnaming things, and then he's offended that no one wants to call it the Gulf of America with him.
Look, I've only been to Detroit, Chicago, New York, Florida, Miami, Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
And there was no bakeries in any of those cities.
No,
not even one.
Didn't see any of them. There might have been. I just missed them. I just didn't.
Could you see them?
You didn't look hard enough.
Could you see them from your private island, or were you like on the street looking for bakeries?
I was on the street looking for bakeries.
Did the limousine stop off for caviar?
I spent a good hour when I was in Florida once looking for some reading material, just a magazine or a newspaper or something. And there's just, where'd you get them from? if you don't live in New York.
See, there it is. There's no books in Florida, y'all.
No,
that's right.
This is how we pay.
I believe that though. That could be true.
I just couldn't find them. I'm not saying there weren't any. I'm just saying I couldn't find them. So it's
Graham.
Guys.
Earlier today, Graham went to the ocean and with a bucket, and he took a scoop of it out, and he said, "The ocean has no whales." I have looked through all of this water, and there are no whales in this goddamn bucket.
Yeah.
Everything must be filtered.
Statistically, that is true. That is true. There's a lot more water than whales in the ocean. It's almost an insignificant percentage.
He said, "Fine, I'll run the test again." And then he got another bucket.
Mikey,
he said, "No whales."
I've seen whales in the water. Like I've seen them. Yeah,
I have.
I've never seen a bakery in America.
The hugest trend right now on probably last year at this point was, is it cake?
Yes.
I guess they just did that on the side of the road with a campfire.
Yep.
They would have never done that at a bakery. They would only do it in a treehouse somewhere under surveillance from the government. Like,
I wondered where they kept
when
them.
you say things.
I wondered
Graham,
if, like,
Graham, what's happened is
bakers live
what
underground
happened
or
is
something.
Did you expect there to be a big cupcake on the top of the building to indicate that it was a bakery or something?
No,
is that what we needed to do?
The smell of freshly baked bread would be nice, but
they usually bake in the morning. What time did you go? Because they're not going to bake all day.
All times, because it was just, I was leaving, I was arriving, I was, pulling into the wrong end of town in the Greyhound bus. Why did they put the Greyhound bus station in a horrible state of town?
Since you were last in America,
it's next to the bakeries.
We've introduced Paul Hollywood to them and the Great American Bake Off, and they now know how to cook cakes and bread.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll go back, after Trump's the day it happens, and I'll go and enjoy some nice stuff at the bakery.
Give it a go.
I'm waiting for Gordon Ramsay to get detained at a flight or something like that, trying to come back into the States, and he just tears the fucking TSA guy a new one. Like, I was
traveling through the southern states on a Greyhound bus, and we stopped in, I don't know, Mississippi or something. And I went to try and find something to eat, and there was a place that called itself a bakery. And I looked at the things that they had on the menu and stuff. I was just like, egg on toast? Okay, I'll have that. Thinking it was going to actually be on, like, homemade toast. But it was like a bimbo loaf. So it was like this big. And it was dead sugary. And then there was like an egg on top of it. That was really greasy and not very nice.
So you said you were in Florida trying to find a bakery.
Yes.
In the United States, Florida has the second most bakeries in the fucking country.
Two of them.
Texas has the most with 18,650 bakeries. Florida has 16,460.
Wow.
Like, I mean, you just missed them, dude.
But no, I went to somewhere called a bakery, but it wasn't a bakery.
So,
do you know what I mean?
This is various different bakeries.
Does that include Dunkin' Donuts and Subways?
It's bakeries.
Why would Subway be a bakery?
Because they bake their own bread
in Florida. Sorry.
We don't call it that. It's a sandwich shop. It's a restaurant, not a bakery.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure that it wasn't covered in the statistics there, the 18 of them.
I think
the
this
average baker employed in Florida makes $34,000 a year.
Wow.
Ooh. It's all right, isn't it?
So,
pays $24,000 for his healthcare.
And in Texas, it's only $30,000 where there's more employed.
Don't get hit by a car. Sarah Davis, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Marie biscuits are the cheap American. Yes, thank you, Sarah. Marie biscuits. That's what they're called. That's what rich tea biscuits are here.
So
I knew it began with M.
That's actually the wrong number. Shit.
What was it?
I need to.
That's how many bakers are employed, not how many bakers there are. Sorry, it went to the wrong number. That's how many bakers are employed in Florida. Not how many bakeries there are.
Can I respond to the chat that's been talking about Bakewell tarts endlessly? I just need to do my regular advert for Aldi, who make a cherry Bakewell Jaffa cake, and it is almost the food of. It is the food of the gods. It is.
Is that the same Aldi that's from the States?
Yeah, they might have them there. I don't know. I mean, because you guys don't have cherry. You don't have Bakewell tarts and cherry Bakewell tarts, do you? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So they probably don't do that over there, but it is the food of the gods.
Oh, it is. So it is the same company.
Yeah, they're German company.
So, there's 1,400 different bakeries in Canada.
Yes, I know, because I've had baked goods in Canada. I've had lots of baked goods in Canada. It's great.
And there's 31,000 in the States. 31,000 different bakery locations.
I think Aldi's on my prison labor list. We don't shop at Aldi. Yeah, they exploit prison labor for their packaging and stuff like that. Yep.
Well, I mean, they're German. That's just in their names.
Comes to the territory. Yeah, there seems to be quite a few bakeries. I'm gonna go to some bakeries when I go to America next.
Yep.
If I ever
You
go
just
back.
missed them, buddy.
Well, having resolved the
what do you mean Tim Hortons
Americans,
isn't a bakery?
do Americans
They make
have
the best
bread?
fucking donuts.
Question. The big questions in geopolitics have been solved. Do Americans have bread? Yeah, apparently. Okay, sorted.
Nice. Like proper homemade bread, not the mass produced
I am gonna have to
kind.
I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys. My you don't want to know why, but I'm gonna have to go.
Oh, okay.
I want them to have bread, but only bread by my definition.
Yeah.
Only bread that I would eat, or else it's not bread.
Oh no.
You're not the master of bread.
Yes.
We can have
guys,
whatever
I'm
bread
gonna-
we like.
All right. Good night,
Nice.
Mike.
See-
Mike.
Good night,
And
Mike.
I'll see you next week in
Cheerio.
Bristol or Brighton. Mike, are you coming to Brighton next week?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Come on.
You guys coming to Baja Con in August?
Yeah,
It's in
definitely.
Canada.
Oh no, we're
on.
not.
It's in Sarnia, Canada, so you should be able to go into Narnia where you are and come out here in Sarnia. Right?
All right. Take care,
All right,
Mike.
guys.
Hope you feel
I
better.
Bye-bye.
really do need to go. See
All
you
right,
later.
See you later, mate. Bye.
Later.
Mike's gonna go sort himself out, and we are gonna. I'm trying to find some bakeries in Fort Lauderdale in Florida, and it keeps pointing me towards Miami. Why you keep putting me towards Miami? What is this? I don't
Mine
want
kept
Miami.
pointing me towards Orlando,
I want
so
Fort
I understand the
Lauderdale.
frustration.
Perhaps look up the word panaderia.
Panaderia. What's that?
That's what they're called in Spanish because there's a lot of Spanish bakeries or Hispanic bakeries, Latin bakeries.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. No. I found some. It's okay. Yeah. All right. Well, next time I'm in the States, I'll go check out some bakeries.
Don't come here.
Okay. Well,
No, not safe.
Don't do that.
When
Don't
it's
do
safe
that.
again. When it's safe again.
It's
you
gonna
can
be a
come
while.
here if you want. You're more than welcome to come here.
Ooh. I'm
If,
having a
if you
membership
co-
perks for your
if you
channel.
come here to where I actually am, Graham, I'll take you out disc golf. I'll show you
Oh
what it's all
yeah.
about.
Can we go? Can we
Just
do
come-
disc
He's gonna
golf?
call it a frisbee. He's gonna call it a frisbee the whole time.
Can we do
I don't care.
disc golf and then disco?
I don't know where there's a
They
place
should-
to go disco.
I want a disco.
Can you guys do it simultaneously
Inside the
by
disco.
playing at night, and then you can have like a disco ball and like LEDs inside the hole
Well,
Yeah.
well,
in the basket?
That's what I'm talking
well.
about.
Just now that you say that, I
Look out.
often carry a speaker with me and play music, so that happens a lot.
Excellent.
And we do play sometimes at night with glow discs. So we have discs that glow in the dark,
Oh,
and we wrap the baskets in the glow in the dark like strings. So that's
Sounds
how you
pretty
see where
cool.
the baskets are.
hear me out, Ollie.
So
What if all of you wore like a bodysuit that had like a skeleton on it, and then the skeleton
Well-
on it glowed in the dark? So then it would be a bunch of skeletons throwing discs in the
now
dark.
that you say that, the first time I went out and played glow disc dark, it was for a Halloween tournament. And I also bought a T-shirt that had glow in the dark, and it had skeleton stuff on one side of it, dots up and down one arm, big basket on the back that glowed. I'm just saying.
And on that bombshell,
Been there, done
back
that.
to the studio. I predicted the past. There should be a name for that.
I think I still have that shirt in the back room somewhere,
Guessing.
but it doesn't fit anymore. Sorry. That was a lot of years ago.
Right.
Nose
Well,
back for younger, Ollie.
it's very late here in the United Kingdom, so I think we're probably going to wrap it up around now. So big shout out to Mikey over in Chicago and Ollie over on Prince Edward Island.
Best city in the world.
in Canada. So thanks very much for coming on. And I'm sorry for talking bollocks. It's fine. I'm a little bit not with it tonight.
You're just gonna get it back. That's all. I don't hate you. I'll just shit talk you back.
I know, but we get a lot of American stuff over here. Like too much American stuff.
That's not
Same
my
here.
Go
problem.
down the road
Same
without
here.
seeing McDonald's McDonald's or Popeyes or Burger King or
Your gripe is with your own country for not kicking out these giant corporations when they had the chance.
Well, no,
but they took the poison. They took the poison pill.
I want to tax them. Tax them till the pips squeak. That's what I want.
But they won't.
You know the super. What's it called? What's the coffee chain? Starbucks.
Starbucks.
You know Starbucks scam.
Tim Hortons?
No, Starbucks. The
Tim
Starbucks
Hortons.
scam is this, right? Whatever they make in profit in this country, let's say it's £5 billion a year, they charge the British subsidiary of Starbucks £5 billion and £1 to use the logo of Starbucks on all the cups. And so they make £1 loss each year and they'll pay any tax on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're never going to play fairly.
No.
Yeah.
If there's a way to break the rules, they do.
Yeah. That's why over here they have Citizens United so that they can lobby and get exactly the laws and not the laws that slow them down.
Yeah, exactly. What a great system. Hooray for capitalism. Woo! I hope we don't get any red flags for what Scott said earlier about this plane.
It's like, brother, Ixnay on the Guantanamo Bay
All views expressed by the guests of this show were their own. Forget the rest of us.
They're not indicative to the views and opinions of the Bin Podcast Network.
Absolutely.
Right.
Or Politics Social or anyone.
We pay our taxes and follow the law around
derivatives. Anyway, the check for using your trademark is in the post, Mikey. Hopefully it'll get there soon. And in the meantime, thanks to Mikey, thanks to Ollie, thanks to everyone for watching at home, and thanks for the super chats and the chat. I'll be back on Sunday with Sunday service at 9 o'clock. And until then, I'll say thanks for watching. Hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Hey.